ESPN welcomes you to a special presentation of the United Football League on ABC.
Y'all gonna freaking play great today, but you gotta raise your personal level of execution. I love you guys, okay? I want nothing but greatness for each and every one of you today. Now, we gave it away. Let's take it back today. Break it down. Let's go. Come on. Yeah, let's go, baby. Hey, dominate today. Let's go.
To the Battlehawks, Anthony Becht has got us ready to run through a wall. The Battlehawks and the Renegades welcome to week 4 of the UFL, and two the better teams that we've seen so far in 2025. The standings, well, they tell the story. Both teams at 2-1. Both teams coming off of their first loss of the young season. Both teams with something to prove in the XFL Conference. With Ronnie Jones, I'm Roy Philpott. So glad you could join us. Cole Kublik and Harry Douglas on the sidelines. We'll get to them in just 1 minute. Two teams playing some great football to start.
Yeah, but as you said, the two teams that just faced their first loss, so it's really about who's going to bounce back. Both teams, as we talked to the coaches this week, felt that they had a ton of opportunities that they let slip a week ago, and both of them be looking to get on the right side of the ledger this week and the right side of the standings against their opponent.
All right, we'll start with the Renegades and the way they approach ground and pound the ground game on full display this afternoon.
Yeah, it certainly will be. It's going to be really exciting with some of the creativity. So Cole and I have a little bit of a collab, an offensive lineman and a running back coming together to talk some run game. Cole, what are you looking for?
What else will we talk about today than the run game? The Arlington Renegades have been able to run the football since they entered this league. However, they've added some creativity to it this year. A couple wrinkles and a couple things that they've always been successful with, and we'll take you through how different it is. Just a little tackle dart play. You're going to pull the tackle around. The tight end's going to stay at home, seal the backside. But, Roddy, the running back's track is what really sets this play apart.
Yeah, it's a different way to run a same-side play. Running back goes from one side of the quarterback to the other. Defenses set their defense based on where the running back and the tight ends are. And then you allow the running back to take the same track he normally would from the opposite side. There's also some zone stuff in there too, Cole.
Removing tendencies and forcing defenses to defend different things. So you get a jet motion, come flat across the screen. It's just going to be inside zone to the right, but the tight end's going to stay home, help out that offensive line, and it gives the back options, right? He can go all the way outside that tight end, or it can go all the way backside across the left tackle.
It does, and Kalen Ballage reads this from the defensive end in, knows those guys aren't going to get hooked on the outside, so he cuts it back behind that backside guard, and then genetics take over. Bigger, faster, stronger means house calls for this Arlington team, Roy.
And that indeed is the longest run in UFL history that you saw right there. The 77-yard touchdown. It's Day Hunter, Kalen Ballage. The Arlington ground game worth the price of admission on this Saturday morning here in the Metroplex. Meanwhile, we take a look at St. Louis and the Battlehawks, and it's Manny Wilkins' time to shine. A.J. McCarron has moved on. Wilkins, they're calling this his redemption game today.
He was awesome in the first 2 games of the season, but last year against this Arlington Renegades team, Manny Wilkins struggled a little bit, so they're hoping that he can bounce back from not only that, but his performance last week where he turned the ball over 4 times, 3 interceptions, and a fumble. But at his best, he's one of the absolute most exciting players in this league. His legs are dynamic. His ability to throw the ball down the field is excellent, and his ability to create under pressure with a clean pocket, without it, he has shown flashes of being one of the best players in this league, and he is hoping that this performance will put him back on the right side of things.
Manny Wilkins on the sideline with our Harry Douglas.
So, Manny, you guys are the #1 offense in the UFL, but were slowed down a little bit last week. How do you flush that down the toilet and overcome that adversity today?
Yeah, man, new week, new opportunity. Every play is its own play. You know, our guys are going to be dialed in, ready to go, and just ready to get it popping.
Talk about third downs and how important first and second down is, because you guys had a lot of third and long situations last week as well.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can be, you know, keeping the sticks on your side and playing this game right, you know, 3rd and 6 and shorter, you know, I think we're more at an advantage as an offense. So, you know, whatever we can do to make sure we don't have any penalties, anything to set us off schedule a little bit, I think we'll be rolling fine.
Good luck, Manny.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Harry, thank you very much. The Beard game very strong with Manny Wilkins. Of course, it is the UFL. We're talking about some sports wagering. We bring in our sports betting analyst, Aaron Dolan. Aaron, what do you like today?
Well, this game, guys, surprisingly, is now down to a pick'em. This will be the first game that is close to pick'em in UFL history. And for those that are new to betting, what that means, essentially, a pick'em is that the sportsbooks doesn't really see an advantage on either side. So right now, the public, despite that, is still liking the Battlehawks to end up winning this game. And then one player I'm going to keep an eye on is Jacob Sailors. He's been absolutely phenomenal, leading the league in rushing touchdowns as well as scrimmage yards, which is no surprise why he today is the most bet-on player to score a touchdown on ESPN Bet. So he's one guy that I'll be tracking, but the public guys liking the Battlehawks as well as the under.
Yeah, the Battlehawks started out as the initial underdog. Roddy, you like Arlington today?
I do. I like Arlington. I got them when they were getting points. I am interested, though, in Harry Douglas cheating on his homework, looking at what Aaron Dolan's going to say beforehand with the Sailors touchdown. And you, a first drive bet? Like, we're going to find out real quick whether or not you win.
Battlehawks are going to punt on that first drive. We shall see, and it's coming up right now. Now 67 degrees, a slight breeze, a slight chance of rain into the landing zone. And from the 2 is Blake Jackson. St. Louis will get the first touch, and the Battlehawks rumbling out to the 26 in a hard collision after a return of 24. Caleb Johnson laid the lumber, and here comes Manny Wilkins, this Battlehawks offense.
29-year-old out of Arizona State. Had to wait his turn in this league, as we've said. And it was interesting talking to Phil McGagan, the offensive coordinator, just about the rhythm that it takes to play within this offense. Rhythm is what Manny's going to be searching for today, getting the ball out on time.
Sailors checks in as the running back to start for St. Louis. High snap, and Wilkins on the swing pass. And a tough collision on Ja'Cour Pearson. And coming in quickly for the Renegades was Miles Dorn.
Miles Dorn just reads this from his safety position and comes right downhill. Absolutely drills Ja'Cour Pearson. St. Louis ran something similar in the first series last week, trying to get Ja'Cour Pearson the ball on the perimeter. They run a lot of misdirection and try and get the ball in their receivers' hands very quickly. A lot in this offense.
Now Miles Dorn telling Harry Douglas pregame, last year was a tough year, lost his mom, didn't play as well as he wanted to. Blake Jackson, the speed sweep to the near side, a big gain for the Battlehawks.
The 2 tight ends on this absolutely make it. The blocks out here on the edge as you get the handoff, and Jake Sutherland and Chase Allen just get up on second and third level defenders and free up Blake Jackson for a big game. Gotta say, Roy, that punt's looking less and less likely with another first down.
It looks solid after that first play, the incompletion on the swing pass. Not as much now approaching midfield. Sailors remains on the field. They'll fake it his direction. Deep ball, double coverage, chasing, and incomplete. Well, for a moment, Gary Jennings was open, and the coverage by Stevens Jones Jr. and Jaden Price.
Pistol, south left, 18 taxi. Swap, gap to pistol, south left, 18 taxi.
Bill McGagan running that West Coast offense with Manny Wilkins at the controls.
Guys, I think Kyle Caskey, the running back special teams coach, is having to help out with communications here, getting them out onto the field.
Something to watch there on 2nd and 10. Just underway in Arlington. Week 4 of the UFL. This time it'll be Jacob Sailors. Around in the backfield will make something out of nothing, and Jaden Price met him first. 3rd down and long coming up, Roderick.
Jaden Price
Spread right, H surge,
had a good opportunity.
Paint, Y arrow, Ohio. Spread right, H surge, Q40 paint, Y arrow, Ohio.
And you hear that play call. This is, as Cole just said, this West Coast offense. A lot of verbiage, calling out every single route. Can Manny Wilkins figure out, dissect the defense, and get the ball out on time?
It is a timing-based offensive attack. Battlehawks 49% on 3rd down this season. Play clock winding down. Wilkins falls down with a snap. Ball popped out late. And this play is still alive. Chris Odom takes it back the other way. And a touchdown is the call from 39 yards Wilkins remains on the turf near the 40-yard line, grabbing that right ankle. And a lot to unpack on this sequence. Wilkins, of course, Arizona State standout. Huge numbers in Tempe. And taking over for A.J. McCarron this season. Max Duggan is the backup.
Yeah, as Manny Wilkins plans to go forward, you can see that right leg just gives out on him, and we've seen that enough time with quarterbacks where it makes your mind go to just hope that Achilles is okay and the entire lower leg. You know, we'll keep an eye on what happens as Manny Wilkins, starting quarterback for St. Louis, injured on the field.
Well, unfortunately, the cart on the field for Manny Wilkins, who was just injured in that right ankle, lower leg area, put into an air cast as both teams surround Manny and offer their show of support. Back here in Arlington, we'll go to our command center and VP of officiating, Mike Pereira. Mike, was that a situation where Manny Wilkins gave himself up, obviously, when he was injured? What did you see?
Yeah, I think there's some discussion about that, but in my feeling here, he's actually moving forward. It's really an unfortunate injury, but a good job really by Francisco Villar, who's going to be a new Big Ten referee, by the way, because in college he would have been down, but in the NFL he's not down by contact. So that ball coming loose as quick as it did, it's too hard for us to kind of put that intent of saying we could actually make him down at that point.
Mike, thank you very much, and we certainly hope the best for Manny Wilkins as he is carted off. And that will mean Max Duggan now in the spotlight for the Battlehawks, the reserve quarterback. And how about Chris Odom on the return, the Arlington native who played his college ball at Arkansas State, getting the job done for the Renegades. This conversion attempt brought to you by Ortho Home Defense, and from the 5 this will be a 2-point opportunity for the Renegades, who just scored on the longest fumble return in the UFL this season.
It's Arlington's first snap offensively of the game.
Luis Perez, the quarterback, an empty backfield, looking to throw it. And right in front of the goal line, the pass corralled by Zay Winstead from East Carolina to stand out for the Pirates. And the 2-point play is good. It is 8-0 Renegades.
Just a nice job by Winstead of pushing the defender out, and Luis Perez working from his left all the way back to the right. His progression works with the timing of the route, a good accurate delivery, which we come to expect from the Spring King. And just like that, I mean, we had St. Louis driving, an opportunity on a 3rd down, and then bam, next thing you know, they're down 8-0 to the Renegades.
Bob Stoops has to love this start. Harry and Cole, what does this do? Harry, I'll start with you in terms of a team's confidence when you see your starting quarterback go out with an injury like that.
Well, it's devastating, number one, but at the same time, you have that confidence in Max Duggan that he has the ability to come in and run the same exact offense. He is a guy that has the athleticism. He can run around as well. So now you have to move on. It's next man up, and I hate to say it like that, but if you're the St. Louis Battlehawks, you can't be worried about your quarterback going down. You got to try to win a football game right now.
Blake Jackson with a crease and ahead to the 43. Cole, did you ever have a starting quarterback at Auburn go out to an injury that early in a game?
Yeah, it has happened before, and I wanted to get Hakeem Butler, who we're hoping is going to be back soon, big-time wide receiver for this Battlehawks team. You've been around Max Duggan. You understand what he is as a quarterback. Just give our listeners a description.
Max is just a competitor. That's probably the word I would use for him, no matter what the circumstance. Seen him use his leg, got a big arm, so smart, cerebral, so competitor. So
chill in the trash talk to the other team, okay?
I can't do that. camp.
We hope to see Akeem Butler back next week after the hamstring injury. Confusion. Duggan is going to make something out of nothing ahead to midfield. So the first snap, he tried to hand it off one way, Cole.
Some confusion, but Roy, that's what Anthony Beck told us he liked about him most. He was a little bit more of a north-south runner, Roddy, and that's what you get with Max Duggan.
Yeah, but if there's no confusion, they hand this off. I mean, they had a hole the size of Texas. Jacob Sailors may have hit his head on the goalpost. That thing parted like the Red Sea.
Selected by the Chargers, 7th round 2 years ago. Of course, he led TCU to the national championship game against Georgia back in early 2023. Sailor's going to be bottled up on 2nd and short. He'll get a yard, and maybe that's it. 3rd down coming up.
And this is where I think the quarterback run game could come into play more with Max Duggan, or at least the internal quarterback run game. The in-the-box quarterback run game could come more into play with Max Duggan than it did Manny Wilkins. Do you drop back to pass and have Max Duggan throw his first pass here? I think I'd put it in the hands of 14, let him put his head down and see if he can get the yardage.
3rd down and 2. Battlehawks near midfield. Max Duggan on in relief of Manny Wilkins, delivers a strike, and that'll move the chains. Jake Sutherland the grabs, tackled by Donald Payne, and just like that, the Battlehawks in plus territory.
It's a good delivery by Max Duggan, a really good tight end route by Jake Sutherland. Just going up to the middle linebacker, pivoting off of him, working away, able to find a little bit of space. Nice job by Max Duggan, who the coaches told us, look, when he gets his opportunity, he's going to play well. The guy is just a gamer.
Sutherland from Moorhead State on 1st down. Duggan delivers another accurate pass, and Frank Darby brought down near the 40. Donald Payne is mic'd up for us today. Linebacker for the Renegades. Let's have a listen.
Over solid book. Over solid book. Man, bit my lip. But close right.
Top
Wait.
tacklers in the UFL.
Close right rim. Close right rim. Hey, 22. Wait.
Out of Fayetteville, Georgia, he went to Stetson. And on 2nd and 4, here's Sailors, the cutback against the grain. It'll be 3rd and short. Payne the tackle, and you hear the collision.
I love the commentary from Donald Payne. Biting your lip during a play is the absolute worst, especially when you're out there on the field. I could say it's man. Got to keep playing. Good job by Jacob Sailors, though, getting some positive yardage.
Sometimes you just need to taste a little blood,
Orange
Roddy.
way down.
No one makes me bleed my own blood.
I ain't got time to bleed.
Orange way down. Close
You
right
want to
rim.
taste any blood? 3rd and 2. On Howard checks in and running back. A pistol look for the Battlehawks. Howard going to be stopped short right at the line, and it was Joe Powell that met him at the line of scrimmage.
Coming off the backside, Joe Powell just knifes in and is able to stop this thing in the backfield. It's a really nice job of recognizing, knifing close to the line of scrimmage, knowing where the running back's going, and tackling, dropping on Howard before he's able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Short yardage right there, backside tackle. I want to think about taking that in-man on the line of scrimmage instead of climbing to the 2nd level.
Yeah, great call, Cole.
Gentlemen, I will ask you to pause for a moment and make sure that we honor Rodrigo Blankenship, the former Georgia standout, a 56-yard field goal last week and a 55-yard attempt on the way this week. And Blankenship bangs it home. Battlehawks on the board. 8-3 our score. The UFL will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. UFL is brought to you by Progressive. Protect your auto, home, and business today at Progressive.com. A young Bob Stoops, after winning national championship in Norman, and then just 2 years ago, the XFL title in surprise fashion for the Renegades. We talked to him this week. He is as rejuvenated as ever, and not having to deal with the whole rigmarole in college these days and the babysitting that occurs at times with NIL. No offense, but the XFL, the UFL now, it has been fun to watch. And he loves coaching. He loves calling ball plays on that sideline. OU hired him as the head coach back in '99 when he was just 39 years young. Clay Brooks from the 1. A cut, a maneuver, and brought down near the 30. We check in again with Cole.
Coach Beggs, you lose your quarterback. Obviously, Max Duggan comes in now. In our meetings, you raved about your confidence for him. What changes for your team, though?
Well, first, prayers for Manny, man. That makes me sick that happened. Listen, Max is ready. He's a gamer, okay? It's good we had a nice drive to get some points there. I just think we got to kind of regroup as a team. We get our coordinator and the quarterback together, get a nice little plan as we move forward. Now our defense and special teams has to rise up for us in this game till we get in that flow. But, hey, getting points in that situation is big.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks, Cole.
Cole, thank you. Renegades take over. Luis Perez. Texas A&M Commerce, the MVP of the XFL championship game just 2 years ago. This run attack will be on full display. Ballage leads the UFL and rush yardage. He's going to be tackled behind the line. Falu met him quickly, and a loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd and 11.
Luis Perez, who's been around in just about every spring league there is, leading the UFL in completion percentage.
Big numbers throughout. There's multiple springs. At 30 years old, Bob Stoops said this week he was old when we got him, and he's even older now. Tyler Ballage picks up a couple, and it's 3rd down.
But he's seen so much, and the reason this team is so good on 3rd downs is because Luis Perez is so efficient on 1st and 2nd to get them in 3rd and short.
Left tight, Z move, 51, Z snag up short.
He's not that old. 30's not that old, is it?
I would trade to be 30. I'd take that old.
Take that in a heartbeat. Peyton goes in motion on 3rd down and 3. Empty backfield for Perez. And delivers another accurate strike to Burnett. Deontay Burnett played his college ball at Southern Cal. Picks up the 1st down.
There's just a ton of space for Deontay Burnett to work away from that hook curl defender and ahead of the corner who looked like he was in cover 2 out there to cover the flat. You can't give a receiver like that much space on 3rd down and a quarterback like that easy a read.
But I would say who makes that play is Tyler Vaughn's on the outside releasing, giving that slot receiver space to work with.
Offensive guys always on the same page. Here's Ballage, a stutter step. They are looking out for number 4 for the Renegades. Willie Harvey leading the charge. No gain on the play.
Tell you what, something to watch over the course of this game with Arlington. We highlighted in the open is the usage of their tight ends. Sal Cannella, Seth Green. Sal Cannella just stuck his nose right up the middle. It was awesome.
Give him officially 1 yard on the play. Ballage to the edge. With a stiff arm, a penalty marker comes in. Willie Harvey ushers him out near the 50.
Holding offense number 63. So we're going to go 10 from the previous spot, yes? Holding. 63 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Francisco Villar, our referee.
Yeah, it's going to happen right here on the edge. There's Ricky Lee. And as the ball bounces out, he's just going to grab the shoulder pad. Obviously, puts him way behind the sticks.
Willie Harvey, the sound on the tackle.
The tough part on that one, guys, is he gave it to you. I mean, he kind of jumps inside there. All you got to do is just wall him off and try to pull him back down inside with you. Unfortunate.
Harvey from Iowa State, of course, Anthony Beck's son Rocco, the quarterback for the Cyclones. Perez sails it, nearly intercepted. And the pass was broken up by Chris Peyton-Jones, working against Tyler Bonds.
You heard him say that these balls are floating. This one needs a little bit more zip on it because the guy they call CPJ, Chris Peyton-Jones, had an okay chance to try and pick that up.
I would also say if you're going to throw that out route to the field, you better throw that bad boy on time, because if not, it's going to go back for 6 the other way.
I've already seen a scoop and score today with Chris Odom. Finding the...
Look at this front, 2 white guys lined up inside.
3rd down and long. Crosser is there. First down is not. Ball pops out. And a quick recovery with the grab by Vaughns. Mike Rose forced that fumble. Another standout from Iowa State. Butt team coming on the field.
Go one more series. Go another series. We'll go to the next one, yeah? Good job, Jake.
Anthony, you have to be incredibly pleased with that defense performance. And the one snap on the two-point conversion, and then coming up in their first possession and stopping this Arlington team.
Marquette King gets it away. Ja'Cour Pearson right up the gut. Good field position. Ball comes out. Renegades hop on top of it. On of 39, a return of 22, but then the fumble would be the second turnover.
Comes out right as he's going to the ground. Does anything hit the ground before this thing comes? Nope, that's a clean fumble. What a job by Sal Cannella. He's the starting tight end. He's able to get his hand on the football and knock it out. Great job by Carlton Johnson jumping on the recovery.
Johnson on top of it. Renegades in business once again. Carlton played his college ball at Fresno State. Anthony back to the drawing board. Two early turnovers. One immediately cashed in for a touchdown and a two-point conversion. Perez, wide open, Cannella into the red zone. Well, Cannella's got a little shake and bake to him.
Sal Cannella's just going to go right up the seam. Watch this throw by Luis Perez. That's a tight window. Puts it on the back shoulder of his tight end. And I tell you what, you watch the film of Luis Perez, and there are throws in every single game where you watch and you're just like, wow, how is this guy not in the NFL?
He's had staying power in training camps, including preseason last year with the Chargers. Ballage back on the field. He'll rumble ahead towards the 10. Chris Garrett, who's back and healthy, that's a good sign for the Battlehawks, makes the tackle.
And I'll tell you guys, when it comes to Luis Perez, I love the ball handling as a quarterback, right? Whether it's faking to running backs, right then he just faked the screen, and then the ball placement, put on the back shoulder like you mentioned, Roddy. He does everything in detail, and you love to see it from the quarterback position.
No quarterback on the field on this play. Seth Green lined up at the quarterback position. He's a tight end.
Run a little option play. Far side and lassoed out of bounds. Day Hunter. A little razzle-dazzle. We thought we would see some of this really from both sides today.
Well, how about this? You put the tight end in, and then you just read the end man on the line of scrimmage. If he comes down, you pull it. And Seth Green does that. Then you pitch off whoever shows up. So the fake goes to Kalen, Ballage, pull, and then on the outside, once your running back gets leverage, you just knock it out there. And Roy, there's no better way to make a Paul Johnson protege happy than running some option.
They are interchanging quarterbacks left and right. Holton Ahlers checks in, and a handoff deep in the backfield to Smith. And he's going to be stopped at the line on 1st and goal.
Yeah, Seth Green was 6 of 8, had 3 touchdown passes during his time in Houston, so he's a little familiar with getting the football directly.
And now Holton Ahlers, the wily veteran from ECU, with Perez on the sideline. 2nd down and goal. Second year with Arlington. Holton Ahlers wants to throw it this time. It's play action. Covered up. And a dangerous toss to Seth Green in that back corner makes it 3rd down.
JP. What happened? Triple right. Z jet left. Can Casper. Indy 6. Gotta go. Triple right. Z jet left. Can Casper. Indy 6. I want to call time if need. Okay, we're Gotta go.
Renegades have to hurry. Long had a gleam in his eye talking with us this week about some of the special plays he had in store for St. Louis. Pop pass to the edge. Payton. Oh, he got there. Devontae Payton, another touchdown for the Renegades.
scrimmage is really the only one that's going to have a chance at this, because once Peyton gets outside, there's enough blockers to cover up everybody in the secondary. Everybody was over there for St. Louis. Arlington puts the ball in the end zone.
42 yards in 6 plays. Gonna go for 2 again. 2-point attempt from the 5-yard line. You can go for 3 from the 10. Perez on the field, gonna throw it quickly, right at the goal line, staying alive as Bonds, and he got there. Conversion attempt brought to you by Ortho Home Defense.
Another really nice, tight delivery. And I thought Bonds might have gotten in on the initial catch, but he made sure of it with the second effort. Now, this St. Louis team has really got to find its footing, as Arlington's gotten a couple of second opportunities, got a second opportunity there, was able to put it in the end zone.
High-scoring first quarter. Don't forget, Week 5, the UFL starts Friday with Memphis and Birmingham. It's at 8 Eastern on Fox, then Saturday night on ESPN. Michigan rolls into St. Louis at 7. Doubleheader for you next Sunday on ESPN, starting at noon. DC and Arlington, followed by Houston and San Antonio to wrap up the weekend. Hard to believe Week 5 on deck.
How about the defenders early in this year? They have been awesome. That defense has been phenomenal, particularly getting after the passer. And then offensively, they've done enough to win. They were in a tight one a week ago against this, or they got out ahead against this St. Louis team. They were able to hold on when St. Louis finally got their bearings.
Sidewinding kickoff to Gary Jennings. Battlehawks in search of a spark with Max Duggan. And we check in again with Harry Douglas.
I'm here with Javante Payton, who just scored that 2-yard touchdown. You had to avoid the end man on a line of scrimmage. Talk about those avoiding skills.
I mean, it's just something that I've been, used to since I was young. Just using my speed, that's an advantage that I was blessed with. So, just taking advantage of all opportunities. When I get the ball, just try to do what I can to get my team in the end zone.
So last week you guys were 0 for 4 in the red zone. How good did it feel to actually get the ball into the end zone this week?
I mean, it's a great step forward. Every day our coach preach about red zone pressure, make sure that we get in and we put points on the board to make it easier for the defense. So, this is a great step for us.
Good job, man.
Appreciate it.
Gary Jennings, the reception, diving down on top of the turf. Peyton, of course, played the SEC at Mississippi State and Tennessee. Before landing in the UFL with the Renegades. Reaching the end zone for the first time this season. 2nd down and 6. It was Mims that went in motion. Sailors, the running back, stacked up and driven backwards. We'll check in again with Aaron Dolan, our sports betting analyst, looking at the live lines, Aaron.
Well, Arlington is now laying 11.5 points after they were an underdog for the majority of the week. And then, of course, like I mentioned at the start of this broadcast, it ended up closing at pick'em. But keep an eye on that total. It's up to 48.5. That's a 10-point swing that we've seen. And typically for UFL games, we're talking about the unders, especially in the first half of games. Typically the line is dropping, but in this case, it continues to rise. Last week, we finally saw some overs hit, so we'll see how high this line gets.
2 touchdowns already in our first quarter. Near the end of the frame on 3rd down. And Duggan across the middle, wide open is Mims. That will move the sticks. And tackled near the 45, a gain of 18. Jamar Summers with the stop.
Denzel Mims does a nice job winning in one-on-one coverage over the middle.
Big plays galore to start this one in the Metroplex. Arlington, a 16-3 lead.
Max Duggan, St. Louis Battlehawks. In 2022 at TCU in the Big 12 championship game against Kansas State. Down 8, about 3 minutes left, and trying to get back into the game. I was tired throughout that whole drive. Ended up going in, scoring, getting a 2-point conversion. The guys on our sideline were helping me up. It was a great drive to get back in the game. Unfortunately, we ended up losing the game, but it was great to see our guys fight to the very end.
Go back to 2022, and that season, Max Duggan was the Heisman Trophy finalist. He was the runner-up that year, the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year.
And that type of gumption and moxie is what really highlighted his college career, and it's why I think he's got a real shot to get St. Louis back in this thing.
Ronnie Jones, Roy Philpott, Cole Kublik, Perry Douglas. And as Duggan launches in the flats, Howard has it. Cole, what would you say about Duggan and how he acts and talks on the sideline?
Kind of stoic, very calm, reserved, not much of a rah-rah guy, not going around trying to get the guys up, not patting everybody on the helmet, just sort of to himself. He's gone and talked to the coordinators and the different assistant coaches in between plays and in between series, but not that super energetic guy that you'll get every now and then.
You would think he is one of those fiery, competitive kinds of players, and he is just more reserved in the process. Going to take off and run and be brought down near the 40. Charlie Thomas III. And a loss of 6.
It looked like they were trying to go to this wide receiver screen right here. Max Duggan didn't like it. Receiver jumped in the throwing lane, so he had to basically try and make something out of the play. He wasn't able to do it.
That's Georgia Tech in action there.
Well, Georgia Tech's finest, Charlie Thomas. Former safety at Georgia Tech, moved down to linebacker while he was in school.
Signed with the Browns, a cup of coffee back in 2023. It's 3rd down. Duggan needs 14 for the Battlehawks. Going to float one deep, man-to-man coverage. And it's intercepted. Chris Claybrooks. Well, he turned around. He was playing center field. And perhaps the easiest INT of his young career.
So Gary Jennings is going to run a double move, and he's actually able to get behind Chris Claybrooks and Max Duggan. Just not enough arm for this throw. Underthrows it significantly, and Claybrooks, who is toast, he is burnt toast, gets the interception because of the underthrow. All he has to do is turn around and put his hands out. And you make a play like that, you get to celebrate, but you know you got away with one.
Give him the hat. Former Memphis standout, 7th-round pick of the Jaguars back in 2020.
3 turnovers now for St. Louis. That one on a 3rd down, it kind of operates, 3rd and long, it kind of operates as a punt, but you never want to see as a quarterback the ball end up in the other team's hands.
And Max Duggan's going to try to sell that to Anthony back to the sideline. Scores.
It's basically a punt, Coach.
Eddie Hunter on the field. He's the running back. Harry's got Chris Claybrooks.
Chris, you see the ball up in the air. What's up going through your mind at that time?
Go get it, man, you know. Wide receiver now. Got to play ball, you know, in the air. So when I saw it, I knew it was mine. So, you know, got to go get that mug.
Did you play some offense growing up?
Yeah, all my life I played offense. Then I got to Memphis. Shout out to Coach Bill. He told me, you going to hate me now, you going to love me. Later on, then he switched me. And then now I'm here.
I like the hat, man.
Oh, come on, man.
Hey, show everybody the grill you have in right now. Thanks, bro.
Hey, Easy. Shout out to Easy, my jewel.
Pressure coming from Travis Feedy. 3rd down upcoming. The Renegades.
Roddy, you used to play with a grill in your mouth at Georgia Tech, right?
I did not. I was just about to say it takes a special kind of person to have a jeweler, and there's only one person on our crew who definitely does, and it's Harry Douglas. No doubt Harry would give his jeweler a shout out.
Yeah, I shop at Claire's. Buy 3, get 3 free, baby.
Talk to me.
Yep. Buy 3, get 3 free. Right.
That was a thing.
Right with my 8-year-old daughter.
My dad would have ripped the grill out of my mouth if I ever put one in.
Timeout's going to be called here. 3rd down and 7. Renegades will talk it over. The UFL will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC stations.
This is how legends are made.
I'm gonna go cover 2. You're ready to bend it or find a little hole. Okay? JP, you're outside? You're at X? Or no, you're at X. Oh, you're at Z. You got the levels. Okay. I'll make sure you outside release. You're ready for a hole shot. Yeah. Hey, how much time?
A special connection with Luis Perez and tight end Sal Cannella, who's got 14 catches on the season. Perez has been efficient to start, no surprise.
No surprise at all. And you can hear in the break him telling his guys what he's expecting. They're expecting St. Louis to come out and play cover 2. So he's talking to his receivers about the key things. Outside release, make that defensive back, that corner, make his back turn toward the inside to free up space for what's going on in the middle.
52, Z, level.
Motions out on 3rd and 7. Here's Perez in the seam. And caught. He was able to thread the needle to Zay Winstead with a penalty marker down to the 31.
You have OPI on the guy that caught the ball?
Okay.
Okay.
14.
Pass interference. 14 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Guys, that negates a gain of 24 and a first down on 3rd and 7.
Yeah, there's a little shove at the end of this. Right here, you're going to see this route, and that's where the shove is going to be, kind of at the top of the route. But this football throw by Luis Perez is unbelievable. But that little shove at the top of the route, right before he separates from the defender, that's what gets Isaiah Winstead called for the offensive pass interference, that extended arm.
63 Cobra. Dump it if you have to.
Triple right. 63 Cobra. Also ready.
And let's see if we have a challenge coming.
Just to be clear, you're challenging that it was not offensive pass interference. He did not push up, correct? Okay. Mayday, did you get that?
I did.
Arlington is challenging that the receiver did not push off and is not OPI.
Who called it? What do you have there? Push off with separation. Okay, well, he does extend the left arm, and it does create separation with that push right there. Creates the separation, which allows him to make the catch. So we're going to deny the challenge. It's going to be offensive pass interference. Arlington is going to be out of challenges. And we're good to go. Down a distance.
Copy.
Bob Stoops told us this week this is part of the art of this league.
And may not challenge for the remainder of the game.
When to challenge, not only in terms of the time of the game, but the magnitude
It'd be a 40-yard swing
of the play.
And you can hear him, like it was going to be a big play. Up by 13, feels like that was a little too aggressive, but as he said, like it's basically a 40-yard swing from where the play would have ended up and then where you are after the penalty.
So after all of that, instead of first down after a gain of 24, the challenge denied. 3rd and 17.
180.
Battlehawks trying to force a punt, get back in this game. The dump off, Day-Day Hunter. We gained 2, and that's it. Willie Harvey sniffed it out. The punt team on the field for the Renegades. Harry's with Bob Stoops. Harry?
Coach Stoops, what was your thinking there challenging that offensive pass interference?
Well, obviously, I didn't think it was offensive pass interference, and it would have been about a 40-yard swing if they would have ruled that way.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Marquette King back on the field as the stop for the Battlehawks. King, who played his college ball for Fort Valley State, gets rid of it cleanly, turns it over beautifully, and a booming kick. Pearson has it. Jitterbugs towards the 30. That's it. And the special teams coverage outstanding for Arlington. Stephen Jones Jr. with a tackle. Don't forget the NBA playoffs underway. You want to miss these Game 1 matchups tonight. 6 Eastern, ESPN, the place to be. Nobody puts Cade Cunningham in a corner. The Pistons at MSG to battle the Knicks. Then at 8:30 on ABC right here. Luka, LeBron, and the Lakers hosting Minnesota, the Ant-Man, and the Timberwolves. I thought Luka played for the Dallas Mavericks, Roddy.
He did. And apparently the GM of the Dallas Mavericks gave a very satisfactory small press availability earlier this week that had nobody talking at all.
Not a lot of cameras allowed in that conversation. Here's Jacob Sailors. And he'll barrel his way across the 35. A nice pickup on the ground. Max Duggan remains in at quarterback.
It's a pretty good job on the double team right here in the middle. that initial block and then working up to the second level. Really nice job by Steven Gonzalez and Mike Panisher.
That's what Anthony Beck told me before the game they want to try to do, guys. Add some tempo and then be able to get to the line of scrimmage, recognize everything, maybe change the call.
Anthony Beck told us this week this is 1,000% his most talented team, the Battlehawks, this season. And on second and short, Nixon with a stop. It'll be third down and a little bit over a yard to go. Call it 2.
But I would say this, Roy, this is the down and distance that you want to live in on third downs. This is their 4th, 3rd, and 2 to 5 rep that they're going to have right now. So this is the world they want to live in.
2-5 on third down so far, Harry, and here we go. Anthony Beck tried to ignite a spark with his backup quarterback. Nearly won a national championship at TCU 2 years ago. Handoff Sailors and around the left edge. He needed to cross the 40. Let's see where they spotted Will Clark. The tackle, and they're going to give him the first down on the initial indication.
Well, Ryan, I tell you, that's the second play in a row. Juwan Bushell-Beatty's had a nice push, right tackle at the line of scrimmage. And Mark Colombo, the offensive line coach, going out of his way to sort of motivate this group before this drive, trying to get them going. Has to like what he's seeing so far.
No doubt.
Anthony Beck said this week, we aren't going to win the championship unless the trenches dominate. On the right side there with Bushell-Beatty getting the job done. Duggan fires it, and that's a laser shot. That was too high for Gary Jennings.
Here we go. Gun double left close, 15 ISO, kill Springer cold. Gun double left close, 15 ISO, kill Springer cold.
McGagan calling plays. Running the West Coast offense, he said, in this offense, you can't pat the ball, you got to get rid of it. 3, 5, 7 step drops. Straight ahead, Sailors powers his way past midfield. Should be enough for the first down and a gain of 10. The tackle by Powell.
So you can hear the 2 play calls, the initial one and then kill, and then a second play call to make sure that you're always in the right play. That was one of the things that frustrated Phil McGagan last week. He felt like there were times where they weren't in the right play for what they had on their plate in terms of play and checks. So a nice job of giving Max Duggan 2 things to work with. Him going, it sounded like with the initial call, and then getting a nice game.
On first down, here's Howard from Alcorn State, driven down at the line. Maybe on Nixon. The tackle, they'll give him a half yard.
Those gap scheme runs that we've talked about, and I can't stand it when you get getting too close and all of a sudden you go to a gap scheme.
Willie X-Lock F Spear.
And Cole, maybe on Nixon, looked like he was all over it. He's been tougher than the block without those double teams. He was able to split the pullers right there.
Battlehawks need points on this drive. It's play action for Duggan. Looking deep again, and now we'll buy some time. He can run it a little bit, steps out near the 45. So on second down and 10, he'll gain a couple. It'll be third down in plus territory.
It's good coverage on the back end for Arlington. But when you look at the protection here, Max Duggan's able to escape because Juwan Bushell-Beatty does a nice job of sealing the edge. The thing is, these hard play actions that have these big, long developing routes down the field, they didn't work last week for St. Louis, and it really put them behind the chains. Here they are in a third and 7. Not ideal.
It's Renegades defense. It's only given up 9.5 points per game this year. They've been stout. Duggan short of the line to gain. They'll stop it where he began the dive. It'll be 4th and a long 2.
Looks like Anthony Beck leaving the offense on the field. I think I agree with the call if they do indeed go for it.
Oh, they're going to give him forward progress ahead of the 40. It'll be 4th and short.
Yeah, when you dive, you get that forward progress. It's the slide that stops when you start the slide.
Diving forward was the difference there.
Oh, yeah.
Bought him some extra inches. Be a 58-yard field goal attempt from here. Instead, they'll roll the dice. 4th and less than a yard. And the screen, there it is to Sailors. An easy first down and a lot more. Big play for the Battlehawks, who are in business.
The middle linebacker right here is responsible for Sailors, but watch all the trash that he has to get through to get out to the running back in the flat. He gets picked off. It's a great catch by Jacob Sailors, because that thing is very easily could have slid out of his hands and hit the turf. Nice job by Sailors of going down. The leading receiver on this team, 4th in the UFL in receiving yardage, is Jacob Sailors as a running back.
15 catches on the season. You know, as a former running back at Georgia Tech, you're turning around. The ball's at your ankles. You got to find a way to make a play on 4th down.
That is a harder catch, especially under pressure on a 4th down. That is a harder catch than he would be given credit for.
Oh, Howard was slammed down. Renegade's going to be called for a personal foul. Monty Bledsoe, the guilty party.
Number 92. What a shame. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Number 92, the defense. 15-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
Keon Bars and Bledsoe.
Yeah, and they have him wrapped up, and they start to drive him back. I actually think Jarvion Howard just trips. Like he kind of trips over the feet of the defenders.
What was that?
And takes a little bit of a dot, but it wasn't really a push. It was a trip. So unfortunate, that Arlington defense. And if you had a challenge, that might be one to challenge.
2 more penalty flags fly out.
12, we're going to back him up 5. Legal substitution, more than 11 players offense. 5-yard penalty.
Look at that last sequence. It's Bob Stoops after that last infraction first.
That's 12! 12 guys!
He's part of this veteran officiating crew. Tell him, Bobby.
All over it.
It'll be first down and goal from the 15. Battlehawks need it. There's Sailors, patient run. Head towards the 10, the tackle by Clark.
And I'll tell you what I love about Sailors. Right now, he's 2nd in the UFL in rushing and 4th in receiving yards. So a guy that doesn't have to come off the football field can really beat you in a multiplicity of different ways.
No kidding. Great feet, good burst, excellent vision. He's slippery as a runner. Gets skinny so the guys don't have great shots on him. Stronger than I think he's given credit for at 199 pounds. He's a fantastic guy.
Well, we love some Jacob Sailors on this crew, and also Anthony Beck said he's intelligent. And that makes all the difference in the world for all of these skills that he brings to the table. This time it's Duggan trying to get to the edge and takes a tumble towards the 7. Down at the 6, Will Clark again.
Yeah, Max Duggan's reading the in-man on line of scrimmage, who just kind of sits there. That's probably a misread, is Will Clark. He's kind of just sitting there square. If he's not closing down hard, you hand the ball off. Max Duggan's able to make something out of it. And now the question is, if you're St. Louis, how close do you have to get to make this a 2-play situation? How close do you have to get? I think if you're inside the 3-yard line, you're going for it, not going for the chip shot field goal.
Feels like one of the longer drives of this season in the UFL. 4 to play in the half. Duggan's going to be swallowed up. A race to the quarterback, Chris Odom, the Arlington native, with a kiss and a sack to make it 4th and goal.
Just a little TE game. Tackle goes first this way, and in comes inside underneath, and the right side of that offensive line isn't able to sort it out. Donovan West stays on the tackle as he goes out, and a free runner, a free hit at the quarterback for Chris Odom as he's able to get the sack.
Oh, what a day he's had at the office. How about the touchdown and the scoop and score? A sack on 3rd and goal.
We need to get Cole on how to pass those things off. Get some coaching going on.
Come on, Cole.
We'll take a look at that one.
Rodrigo Blankenship back on the field, connected from 55 earlier today, and this effort from 31 is good as well. 16-6, our new score. 3:09 remaining in our first half in Arlington.
Take a look at how this broke down for the St. Louis offensive line on the last sack. Right tackle Juwan Bushell-Beatty has to bump right guard Donovan West off. This is not a guess or something that you're going to see. You have to feel this technique to come off on the loop man. The key is you have time there, and as you can see, Bushell-Beatty never really bumps Donovan West off of that twist to be able to come off. So Donovan West is actually in the right there, fellas. You don't come off until somebody bumps you off your man, and then you have that extra time to be able to pick up the looper. You have to feel that. You can't just guess or see it.
Great stuff, because automatically everyone goes, well, why didn't the guard get the guy that was coming in? He's got it. Someone's got to let him know. Great stuff, Cole, letting us know that the tackle is responsible for bumping that guard to pick up the looper.
I learned something there. Clay Brooks on the return, and a big afternoon so far for Chris Odom. Harry Douglas with more.
Yeah, Chris, 3rd and goal, you end up with a sack. Talk about that tackle in game that got you free.
It was good. We just saw that they were lined in empty, and then once we made our check, my D tackle Armani just got vertical and took the guard and tackled with him, and then it was up to me to just wrap and then just make the play after that. So I trust him to do his job so I can do mine.
So earlier in the game, you also had a 43-yard touchdown run off a fumble recovery. People talk about the wide receivers, the running backs all the time. I say big guys need loving. Talk about the awareness to pick that ball up and run it into the end zone.
Well, first, let me start off by saying, I hope he's healthy. I saw how he went down, so I prayed for him for a speedy recovery. But at that point, once I saw him and the ball was on the ground, just secure it. And then I didn't hear no whistle, so just get up and get to the end zone after that. So definitely a big play. We just keep the momentum going all the way until the second half.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you.
Harry, thank you. Chris Odom, the former USL Defensive Player of the Year, Houston Gamblers back in 2022. Multiple stops in the NFL. Arkansas State standout, as I mentioned, right here in Arlington, the heart of the Metroplex. A stutter step and a move, jolting towards the 36 is Day Hunter. Let's see if that gets us to the 2-minute warning on 3rd down. And a big play coming up for both sides. Arlington trying to keep momentum on its side for head coach Bob Stoops. Battlehawks trying to force a 3-and-out as we continue our first half here at Choctaw Stadium after this. Well, coming up after UFL on ABC, it's the NCAA Women's Gymnastics National Championship. The Final Four on the floor, including Utah, UCLA, Mizzou, and Oklahoma. Sooners in search of their 7th title since 2014. A look at our 4D replay and the great Jordan Childs in Utah with its insane bar rotation to end the meet to clinch a spot in the finals. This is going to be absolutely magnificent coming up when we're done.
We showed that replay in the break, in the break. Harry Douglas got as excited as I've heard, because Harry, who does your daughter love to watch?
Jordan Childs, who won the uneven bars. We have a set in the basement. We have the bars, we have the balance beam, we have the mat. And trust me, every time she gets an opportunity to go down there, it's Daddy, can you go in the basement with me? And we got to be supportive of our kids, so it's hell yes all the time to Harrison.
Thank you, HD. Well set, 3rd down and 2. After the 2-minute warning, a big play to end our first half. Perez, there was contact and it's incomplete, trying to spot Peyton. And the ball was tipped by Chris Garrett.
Coming off the right side, just gets this big old mitt in the air, tips that. And St. Louis knew that the ball was going to come out quick, so he had pressed man across the board. It's going to be a tough play anyway. CPJ, Chris Peyton-Jones, did a nice job of playing that route. Now St. Louis is going to get the ball back with 3 timeouts and plenty of time. Just under 2 minutes left.
Big possession for Max Duggan. Last punt by Richter. We saw check that Marquette King. We saw go 59 yards. This one tumbles inside the 10. It'll check up beautifully and be whistled dead there. So King has been outstanding, and now the Battlehawks with a long ways to go to get into scoring range. Already mentioned all 3 timeouts remaining, and Max Duggan perhaps finding his way a little bit more.
Yeah.
And we'll check in with Cole Kublik, who has the offensive line coach, Mark Colombo.
Got Mark Colombo here. Now, you you got a little animated before the last drive. It's as animated as I've seen you in a while, and I think your group responded. Just take us through your mentality right now.
Yeah, you know, I mean, we got a tough offensive line, okay? We want to grind these teams out. So, you know, I was just getting on them to kind of stay on their blocks and keep grinding the team out, all right?
You saw more of them last drive, though? You saw more of that?
Yeah, I saw a little bit more of that, all right? So we just got to keep doing it. They got a really good defensive front. They're coached well, and, you know, that's what we got to do. We got to wear out a front like this. We want success, and I felt like we're starting to get to that.
Guys, I'm 6'3", 245, so Dwayne Johnson, you've got your next villain in your next film right here. Here you go.
I was about to say.
Thanks, Mark.
That is a large. Cole is a big guy.
That's 6'8", 320 you're talking
about. That guy was towering over Cole. That is a large human being.
Former first-round draft pick out of Boston College. I mean, that's prime BC offensive line era in the early 2000s.
Oh, yeah, that's that Mark Colombo, Anthony Costanzo, like that run.
Let's go.
That they had.
Of course, he played here in the Dallas area with the Cowboys for all those years. Being selected in the first round. Pocket collapsing. Duggan. Pearson should have caught it. He got his hands on it, dropped it, tumbling down towards the turf.
Quarterback can help him out with a little bit better throw, but Ja'Cour Pearson ends up open. The throw is behind him. It's a little low. It's a tough catch, but in these situations, you'd love to be able to bring that down, especially after Ja'Cour Pearson should have caught the punt that just happened a second ago. It cost his team probably at least 10, maybe 15 yards of field position. Had been able to catch it in advance.
Third down and 10. Battlehawks have been trying to run uphill the entire half. Manny Wilkins out. Duggan in with time. Pressure! And he didn't have very much time whatsoever. Going to be brought down short of the 3-yard line by Will Clark.
I mean, for Max Duggan, this offensive line is fighting to try and give him time. He decides to hang in the pocket. He's got plenty of time to work through his progressions. Can't find anywhere to go. You can't take the sack there down near the goal line, pinning your special teams back. Now you've got to pump the ball back to Arlington, who's got one timeout, minute 25. They're going to get the ball probably in plus territory. So what looked like a very advantageous situation for St. Louis might turn into another Arlington score before half.
So here's Sterling Hofrichter, standing 1 inch in front of the back of the end zone. Jaden Price back deep to receive. Execution critical here. Hofrichter gets it away cleanly. A wobbler turns over to Price. Into plus territory. Jaden Price stumbling close to out of bounds at the 45. Week 5, the UFL starts Friday. Memphis and Birmingham at 8 Eastern over on Fox. Then Saturday night on ESPN. Michigan rolls into the Dome at St. Louis at 7 o'clock. Then we have a Sunday doubleheader on ESPN starting at noon with DC and Arlington, followed by Houston and San Antonio.
This St. Louis team is in the middle of a tough stretch. DC last week, Arlington this week. Then, as you just said, Michigan, a team that's playing really well. Then they get Arlington again. Tough stretch here for the Battlehawks, and this is a big situation for this Battlehawks defense.
1:13 to go. One timeout, and now Arlington. Flag comes out. The handoff to Ballage, and it was Travis Feedy. Flag down.
Holding. 66 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
Yeah, well, we got to go.
Move it back to the 44 in field position. Renegades will be worsened after the holding call. Up off to Ballage. It's sandwiched between two defenders quickly, and that clock continues to wind down under a minute to go. It's Rose and Harvey. Renegades without a first down so far in this second quarter, just 14 total yards. outside pressure, and to get rid of it in Canella. A one-handed effort, it comes up empty, and that's going to stop the clock with 33 seconds to go. And the pressure coming from Tal Mapino.
Yeah, over there on the left side, Peter Tal Mapino chases Luis Perez out of the pocket. And it feels like these offenses are going to sleep on the last couple of drives.
Third down and 16 for Perez. Looking long, Perez heaves one deep, man-to-man coverage. And it's caught. Rumbling into the end zone, Tyler Vaughns.
Luis Perez's ability to move up in the pocket and create time is what gives the time for this double move by Tyler Vaughns to open up. And now how he's able to get behind Chris Payton-Jones in the safety, how you're able to get behind him on a double move on third and forever, especially in that situation, it can't happen. Nate Metters not able to get over the top, the safety, Chris Payton-Jones all alone, and Tyler Vaughns ends up in the end zone.
Renegades.
It's critical. So on Austin, right?
Will go for one, and Anthony Beck thinking about a challenge here.
Who got help? Freedom run. Freedom time!
There comes the flag.
All the linemen is running behind me and doing this. Okay. All right. Don't argue with it. I need to know. All right, I got a. Oh, all right. Oh, Skyler. Yeah, this is north. Yeah, this. All right, yeah, we're gonna go. We got a grab on 99.
Holding 99.
Grab on 99. He's holding him, preventing him to get into the rush where he needs to be.
99. You got the MP?
Yeah, I got
Austin
it. I'm
followed.
looking. It's 55. 99 was held. Okay, Francisco, I'm taking a look at it. So you get 55 that is holding 98. Looks like it's 98 that he's got him. He gets him by the collar as the quarterback is right there before Perez steps away from it. He's going to win the challenge. So the previous spot was the 49. And down in distance.
Confirming that the hold was behind the line.
Correct. It was behind the line of scrimmage. So we're back to the 49-yard line, basically going back 10 yards from there.
And that was number
55.
And that's Garrett McGinn.
Yeah.
Holding number 55 of the offense, 10-yard penalty.
Correct.
And Cole Kublik with Anthony Beck on the sidelines after learning the touchdowns off the
55
board.
of the offense, 10-yard penalty, fourth down.
Coach Beck, you talk about having some faith in your guys. Holy hell, you're almost blind to that entire thing, but you trusted him there. You trusted him.
Yeah, it was either 98 or 99. I'm just looking at body composure. Like 99 is a pretty hard-working guy. If he got held, he got held, and he's got the best motor up front. He was pretty aggravated, so we weren't sure. I went with emotions only, but we did get it. We had a hold, so we're good to go. Let's go.
Anthony Beck called Austin Fowler the best defensive lineman in the league in our conversations with him this week. He's down 20 pounds. And
Boy, I don't know if you guys saw it there. The agony of him trying to decide which number he was going to ask for there was pretty incredible.
it was. We did sense it. And spinning away goes Canella. It'll be fourth down with time early at the end of the this half.
And if I'm not mistaken, he asked for 99, correct? And then they, upon the replay, called it on 98. So it didn't matter because he could have gone with
I got to think the
either
middle of the field
one.
will be available, right? And we got a timeout. We got that line. Upset. If we get something like in the middle of the field, you should feel, if we get cover 2, try to maximize the middle of the field. We'll bang a timeout. And then after that, anything we get, we'll try to spike it real quick, okay?
Battlehawks still with those 2 timeouts, trailing by 10. 19 seconds remaining now in our first half. Marquette King has been outstanding today. Fort Valley State stand down, 36-year-old from Macon, Georgia. Outstanding game time and form. Crushes this one towards the goal line and 2 yards deep into the end zone for the touchback. Here comes a late penalty marker out. Back near the line of scrimmage. Zolo plays a touchback.
Eric, get a ball.
Francisco Ballage.
17 for Arlington, number 4. Okay, UNR. Okay, they're going to offset. We had a touchback, correct?
Correct. They want to let's hash.
Okay, 17 Arlington, 4 St. Louis. After the play, there are fouls by both teams. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 17 of the kicking team. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 4 of the receiving team. Those penalties offset. Result of the play, the touchback. 1st and 10 St. Louis.
Day Hunter and Cameron Kelly after the touchback at the 25. Battlehawks take over there. 2 timeouts. Trailing by 10, only 13 seconds to go.
Based on what Anthony Beck said to Max Duggan, it looks like they're going to try and be, or it sounded like then they were going to try and be aggressive here with 13 seconds left.
And remember, the Rod squad does have the 55-yard field goal. 56-yarder last week.
False start. 75 of the offense. 5-yard penalty.
The final 5 minutes of this half, it's gotten a little sloppy.
It has. It's been sloppy all day for St. Louis, but Arlington has started to participate in the slop fest as well. Offensively, these 2 teams have been a little out of rhythm as we've gotten deeper into this first half. But if you're St. Louis, I mean, if you go in the locker room with this score, down 10 after 3 turnovers, including a fumble return for a touchdown, I mean, you got to feel like if you clean some of this up, you're right in this game.
Duggan gobbled up again, driven down. Charlton able to race back to the quarterback. And that's going to end the half. And the Renegades defense, the big story as it has been all season. Our halftime report coming up next. Renegades, the 16-6 lead over the Battlehawks. Welcome back here to the Metroplex, Choctaw Stadium, the place to be on this Saturday afternoon. Halftime between the Renegades and the Battlehawks, alongside Roddy Jones, Roy Philpott, Harry Douglas, Cole Kublik down on the sideline. Fun start in this game, and of course, a great start here in Week 4 of the UFL.
Yeah, it's been an awesome start to the season. I think we've seen that the defense is typically a little ahead of the offenses, but that's starting to change. And the access is always great. The players have been awesome with us, so it's been a lot of fun.
Oh, you love the sights and sounds of the UFL. Let's take a look back on Week 3 and some of the highlights.
We're here for one thing, that's win. Win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win.
Four-quarter massacre.
Those corners, you can't throw those big moon balls. You got to spot and spit it.
Tell us what you were doing right before you came back and joined the team this week.
Oh, man, we was working at the golf course, man, trying to find a way.
Loud across the goal line is Toa Tawa.
this mother effer until they can stop it.
Why is he in the game? Don't you put him in again?
Anderson. Kiki. Scramble pressure. Throw it to the end zone. This is how legends are made.
Well, you certainly can't beat it from the golf course to the end zone in week 3. And look, we're just getting started on ABC today. We're going to crown a national champion in gymnastics as soon as we're done this afternoon.
There we are. It's going to be a ton of fun. Stars all over the place, including, if you watch the Olympics, you'll recognize the name Jordan Chiles. She's competing for UCLA. So it's going to be a ton of fun to watch all of the incredible athleticism that we'll see after us.
And it's right across the street here in Fort Worth. And here's a preview.
The last 4 stickers have been put on the big board. Missouri, Oklahoma, UCLA, and Utah will face off for the national championship. Your official bracket looks like this. We had 2 quad meets, 2 teams out of each of those advance: Oklahoma, Missouri, Utah, and UCLA. But maybe the shock isn't who's there, it's who's not there. You guys, the defending champ, the LSU Tigers, Sam, they will not have a chance to defend.
It's shocking. Many people thought they had what it takes to repeat that title. So it's really a surprise for everybody. I don't think anyone got their brackets right.
Yeah, it feels like, Allie, this is set up for Oklahoma to win it.
Well, a big reason for that is because of one of their superstar athletes, Jordan Bowers. She won the all-around title, and it's because of her exquisite form. She had such a great day in the semifinals, stuck her dismount, legs straight, toes pointed in this first pass. Nobody quite does it like Jordan Bowers. In this ball, elbows straight, controlled that landing.
Yeah, she has been on fire since the regional championships. The other teams, the Missouri Tigers, don't call them underdogs, call them undeniable. And, of course, Utah and UCLA have won championships in the past, and they will not make it easy on the Sooners. It all starts Saturday, 3:30 Eastern Time.
We cannot wait. And remember, the UFL will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. Back here in the Metroplex and the start of our second half, Arlington and St. Louis, a pair of 2-1 teams as week 4 in the UFL rolls right along. Roddy Jones, Roy Philpott, Cole Kublik, Harry Douglas, and an exciting first 2 quarters underway here.
Yeah, it was. It got a little sloppy there at the end. If you're St. Louis, you're sort of ruining the turnovers that you've had that have led to scores. This Arlington team has been very opportunistic. They've created some takeaways. Offense hasn't quite gotten the flow going that you might expect, but that Arlington defense has been phenomenal.
Yeah, that spread has shifted a lot during some of these live line sessions we've been talking about. Sports betting analyst Aaron Dolan joins us now. Aaron, what are you seeing?
Well, going into the second half, Arlington is currently laying 8.5 points, and we're seeing the total at 39.5. But as for Arlington, that offense kind of getting going somewhat. I will say, if you currently look at Sal Cannella, he was the most bet on player at ESPN Bet to go under his receiving yards prop of 41.5, but he's just 6 yards away from cashing that over. And then on the other side of the ball, we had talked about Jacob Sailors, I should say, excuse me, and he's one player that we thought was going to score a touchdown very easily in this game, but we haven't seen that happen just yet. And he is creeping up on his rushing yards prop as well. So those are some players that I'll be tracking, as well as, of course, the total and the live spread as well.
Interesting to see if some of those players can get to their mark, according to the experts, as we take a look at our game flow, brought to you by Progressive and the Arlington defense. And the early turnovers certainly changing the complexion of this game, beginning with the Odom scoop and score.
Yeah, Manny Wilkins, that's unfortunately he goes down, but because he was never touched, lets the ball go, and Chris Odom is the opportunistic guy who takes it for a touchdown. And then on a punt return, Ja'Cour Pearson gets the ball knocked out by Sal Cannella, the starting tight end. That then leads to an Arlington touchdown, as this Arlington team, again, hasn't had its normal flow offensively. They've been a little disjointed, especially towards the end of that second half. but being opportunistic off the turnovers has gotten them the lead in this game.
Take a look at today's progressive first half stats. That touchdown by Javonte Payton, part of the difference between these two. And got a little sloppy there at the end of the second quarter. The penalties started to creep up, especially for Arlington, which, by the way, Renegades didn't have a single first down in that second quarter.
No, they did not. And look, neither team's been able to rush the ball, I think, the way that they want to. We'll see if that changes in the second half.
Harry Douglas with a report from the sidelines down the locker room area. What we got?
Yeah, when you look at the defensive side of the ball for the Arlington Renegades, it's guys, do what we just did in the first half. They had the takeaways. They sacked the quarterback 4 times, 3 takeaways to be exact. You actually got a fumble recovery for a touchdown by Chris Odom. But it's also be mindful of the run game and also the QB run game. I heard talks about, hey, if the quarterback is open to you, don't mind it. Backside, you got to be able to be that guy that fits in if you're a linebacker or that nickel. And offensively, you got to be able to string drives together. That second quarter was a bit stalling for them. So that's all we got, guys.
Yeah, stall would be a bit of an understatement. Meanwhile, Donald Payne, one of the top linebackers in the UFL, the leader this year for Bob Stoops and the Renegades, was mic'd up in our first half.
Hey, Bingo! No, wait.
Yeah, because the zone this way.
He opened up the court. Look at the play.
It's a line.
I gotta look at the line? Oh my God, coach. He had man, they be trying to get me on box. I had a pick twice.
Played his college ball at Stetson, 3-time Pioneer Football League Defensive Player of the Year. They're not really awarding scholarships in that conference in college, but Payne, here he is, trying to live the dream of the UFL.
I just want to know what the discussion was that made him hit the Captain Morgan pose with his leg on the bench, giving the coaches a look like, come on, man. But he has been an excellent player for this team. Big-time leader for him as well.
Now, the other big news from our first 2 quarters, the entry to starting quarterback.
I'm trying to get around.
Who was carted off the field right before Chris Odom executed the scoop and score. And so that means more Max Duggan in the second half, but it'll be the Renegades that get the football first. And as we mentioned, Arlington without a first down in that second quarter, still with a 10-point advantage. The strength of that defense, right? I mean, they've only given up 9.5 points per game coming in the first 3 weeks of the season. Second half underway. Day Hunter back into that landing zone, and Hunter going to be corralled near the 20. And special teams outstanding for the Battlehawks. Chris Garrett, special teams dynamo. The tackle right at the 20-yard line. So here's Luis Perez, our MVP of the championship game back in 23.
And Cole and I talked before the game about this Arlington run game. They're going to have to get going. They're going to have to get that going. Kalen Ballage hasn't really gotten going. This offensive line hasn't found their flow. It's a St. Louis team that had some plays hit against them last week against DC.
Canelo went in motion, and it's going to be Ballage, a full head of steam. Cole, do you see anything from an offensive line perspective for Arlington that could be a little bit better executed in our second half?
Well, I think some of the things in pass pro that I've seen obviously could improve, and then just working as a unit. You've turned a couple of guys free at both on runs and passes. So, yeah, they got a few things they can clean up.
Second down, using a little tempo on 2nd and 6. There's Winstead. The tackle by Cameron Kelly.
This is the type of rhythm, though, that this Arlington offense wants to be in. Nice first down gain. Second down pass to get you to a third and really short is where they want to live.
Third and really short, and Ballage needs to cross 29 to the 30, and Kelly was there. It's going to be 4th down.
Watch the safety right here. He's going to knife down to make this play. It's a really nice job of seeing the hole, meeting the running back in the hole. And that's where you would hope the 230-pound Kalen Ballage is able to get enough movement against Cameron Kelly to get the first down. Arlington leaving the offense on the field. Big call here by Coach Bob Stoops.
Extra offensive lineman brought on the field. King Bulu checks in, number 75. mass of humanity huddled near the pigskin. Ballage right at the line. Travis Feeney met him first, and let's see, heading across the 30. The initial indication is that he's going to be stopped short.
The tackle is made backside, but front side, these defenders demolished a couple of blocks and got pushed into the Arlington backfield and created no room for Kalen Ballage. What a stop this would be for this St. Louis defense.
Anthony Bennett's got to be pleased there.
Sure, yes! He's sure! Yes!
Guys might go for it right there with a 10-point lead. Backed up on your own end of the field, and now the Battlehawks have sudden momentum.
You got a 230-pound back. You figure you can get 6 inches, but they couldn't.
Sailors will get more than 6 inches. Push the pile towards the 25. A great block by Chase Allen from his tight end position.
Do you think it was probably a little more aggressive than you needed to be? But this defense has been excellent. This Arlington defense has been the best defense in the UFL. You mentioned 9 points per game. Put in a tough spot here, but they've been up to the task all day long.
We'll go back to last week in a game that Arlington really should have won at Birmingham. A late call, 4th and 6 extended. Ended up being the game-winning drive, and Duggan, outstanding defense in the coverage, like a blanket for Jaden Price.
It's really well done by Jaden Price. It's really well done by Donald Payne, too. Donald Payne, the middle linebacker, having to sprint out and cover Jacob Sailors, takes that away from Max Duggan, so he goes to his first read. And it was great defense on the back end. Now, you're in a third and 6 situation.
Pass was intended for Gary Jennings. 3rd down and 6. Certainly within range of Blankenship. Battlehawks 3 of 9 on 3rd down today. Duggan, I don't think so. And another sack. It was Chris Odom, his 2nd of the game, plus the scoop and score for Old 93.
Yeah, and Max Duggan, I think, just holds on to the ball too long, but you're going to see the pressure come from the left side of your screen. The push into the backfield, having to force Max Duggan up. And then Chris Odom's there to finish, but there are a couple of routes that Max Duggan could have gone too early. Didn't like what he saw in any of it. Just holds on to the ball too long in the pocket. Ended up having to settle for a long field goal attempt.
Blankenship back on the field. 2 for 2 today. This attempt from 53. And Rodrigo Blankenship with authority bangs it through. Back to a 1-possession game, 16-9, and our Cole Kublik with the offensive coordinator for the Battlehawks, Phil McGagan.
Coach McGagan, first, just the changes you've had to go through today, how has that changed what you're doing up here in the booth?
It's tough, you know, we have to make some adjustments. That's part of football, it's part of life, dealing with adversity. We obviously miss Manny's been playing good football for us, but Max is a heck of a competitor. He's a really good player. It's a limited amount of reps you can have in a week, especially when you have a limited number of players on the field, so it's not the same volume you would have even in NFL practice, so they get even less reps. So just getting Max in there, getting to a flow of things. He's handled it well, and we'll be in good shape.
You talked to us when we met with you. I thought it was really impressive about we don't pat the football. You get in the back of the pocket, that ball's got to come out. How do you sort of re-emphasize that to him now that he's your starting quarterback?
Yeah, that we have been holding the ball too long. It's a good assessment by you. We are patting the ball. We do have to get the ball out more quickly, and then if we don't like what's there, we got to use our legs. That's why we have these mobile quarterbacks. So we've done a nice job covering some players and contested catches to be made. Arlington's a well-coached football team. We know that. We're in a ball game. It's a 1-possession game. It has not gone our way, but you know, it is what it is at this point.
You also kind of self-assess your emotions and how you manage certain guys in certain situations. What kind of challenge has that been for you today?
Well, yeah, anytime you're personally frustrated, you could easily, you know, have people being dysregulated next to you and yelling and screaming, and you can allow that to kind of affect the way that you call a game or the way that you are with your players. But I think, you know, if you really are a person who has great composure, then when things are going like this, the team will feel that calmness and they'll respond eventually.
You asked Coach Colombo after that first play, hey, you like counter here? Tell us about the communication between you and other members of the staff as far far as what they see, what they like, and how that affects you calling the game?
Yeah, well, Mark Colombo, you know, he's another Massachusetts guy like myself, so I mean, we can have some pretty direct conversations, and we have thick skin. So, you know, I think Mark does a wonderful job. He's a great coach. He's a really good football coach. He's an excellent player. So, you know, I trust him. He's our run game coordinator. I trust him a great deal with what we're doing in our run game and run schemes.
Thanks for letting me hang up here, Coach.
Anytime. You're always welcome.
Where in the world is Cole Kublik? He's all over the ballpark here today. Ballage by a little bit of time from Luis Perez, and scoot ahead past the 35. Arlington, by the way, Ronnie, in search of its first down since it was 3:30 remaining in our first quarter.
Well, they're in a good situation to get it after a nice first down game, but the short yardage runs on the last drive stopped twice with just a short amount of time, a short distance to get the first down. Stopped the third time now here.
That St. Louis defensive front has been stout.
I would also say this when it comes to those short yardage runs, you got to have those receivers block those safeties on the end line of the scrimmage and go and dig guys out too. Add those receivers to the run game.
Yeah, and usually, Harry, they've done a lot of that over the course of the season. Has Arlington, as Luis Perez comes out of the game, we're going to get that look with Seth Green at quarterback again. Oh, no, excuse me. Holt Naylor's a quarterback.
Full house backfield on 3rd and short. This has been a problem for the Renegades, and it will be again. Lassoed behind the line of scrimmage. Le'Veon Smith, and another defensive stop. Callahan O'Reilly from that middle linebacker spot.
Watch the defensive end absolutely stone the tackle, and then the linebacker comes over the top and stops this run. It's a really nice job of setting the edge, and then play getting absolutely blown up. Wow, short. The St. Louis defense has been good short.
Anthony Beck will tell you that defense standing tall. Here's Pearson. Jacob Pearson had that fumble back in the second quarter. Safely returns it towards the 24. And Roddy, it's great to see Cole Kublik hanging out in the booth with us at least for one play or two.
I'm starting to draw some stuff up here.
Where's he going to be? We don't know. We'll find out next.
Kublik.
Stanley Cup playoffs are on the networks of ESPN tomorrow. Game 1 action starts at 3 Eastern on ESPN, where the Hurricanes host the Devils. Senators and Maple Leafs square off at 7 on ESPN2. In the nightcap, Vegas Wild against the Golden Knights on ESPN. And a look at the Strip, place to be.
Apparently Harry's got picks in the NFL
hockey
playoffs.
picks.
I sure do. I have the Florida Panthers and the Colorado Avalanche. The Panthers traded for one of my favorite players because I'm a Boston Bruins fan, Brad Marchand. I was sad to see him go.
Jacob Sailors as the Battlehawks get the football back. That was a short-lived visit in the booth with Cole Kublik. It was great to see. We asked, where in the world is Cole Kublik? He popped right here in the booth like in 15 seconds.
I'm afraid to say his name 3 times while looking in the mirror.
Second down coming up. St. Louis is in this game. You and I argued about this during the last break. They are in the game.
It was a discussion. St. Louis is in this game. Their offense has been the better offense in this game. Arlington's offense has only had one real drive, and that was set up by a fumble recovery on a punt.
Pop pass to Pearson around the edge. Pearson going to pick up a first down. Well, speaking of hockey, no one knows hockey like our own Harry Douglas.
So I'll tell you this just right off the hop, right? So I see what you're doing, but I have to be real. I've seen better hands on a clock.
on the set of First Take. Get up, talk to me.
Man, he can't talk to you like that.
Hey, he's a hockey expert.
Yeah, that's true.
Clearly he was joking though, guys. I hope so.
I don't think he was.
I know.
First down run and a gain of 2.
Love your passion for it, though. You know, it's a sport that we in the South don't get a whole lot of. So a guy that lives in Georgia having hockey picks, I love it.
And also, I think, you know, guys, Matthew Tkachuk is going to be back for the playoffs for the Florida Panthers as well. He's been injured for a while.
Sure has since the.
We're gonna back him up 15 from the dead ball spot.
Major
After the play,
here against St. Louis.
personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 75 of the offense. 15-yard penalty, down counts, second down.
So instead of the 2-yard gain to make it 2nd and 8, going to lose 15 yards on the penalty, and we'll take a look.
Jared Jones-Smith comes up at the end, and I mean, look, there's not 15 yards worth of infraction there, but you have to draw the line somewhere, and a shove after the play, you know, if you're going to draw the line there, it's not going to escalate. So I don't blame the officials for throwing the flag. Not a lot in it, though.
Jones-Smith from Pittsburgh, 3rd year with St. Louis. Duggan wants to run it, and it's going to be tripped up near the 30. Get some of that penalty yardage back. Donald Payne. And more laundry on the field back at the 18. It's not a jersey.
33 the defense, the unnecessary roughness, into the run, 15 yards. Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 33 the defense. 15-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
That's Taco Charlton, so the midweek edition is going to give the Battlehawks a first down.
Yeah, gave it back. Taco Charlton actually runs over Jared Jones-Smith. I thought that was going to be the call, the hold on Jones-Smith, who pulls Taco Charlton down with him as he goes to the ground. But Charlton gets called the unnecessary roughness for some extracurriculars.
And I would say with the flags, a lot of them coming out nowadays, it's got a bit sloppy, kind of what Roy loves when he was in elementary school, a sloppy Joe sandwich.
You a sloppy Joe guy?
I was not a sloppy Joe guy.
Stop lying, Roy. Stop telling stories.
The square pizza with the 3 pepperonis on it.
Rectangle.
Oh, that's right. It was more of a rectangle. Quadrilateral. You know what I'm talking about.
Well, just learn your shapes when you're supposed to learn your shapes, Roy.
Wow. We go from Harry Potter to the sloppy Joe sandwich. 1 week to the next. You got to be on your toes with HG. It's not only hockey, but who knows where he's going.
Yeah, who knows indeed.
Duggan picks up 7 yards and change. And now St. Louis on Arlington's end of the field. And again, a 1-possession game down by just a touchdown.
Big exchange of penalties. It gave St. Louis a little bit of life on this drive.
Sailors, jump cut, and nothing doing. Back to the 50. Right. Stephen Jones Jr. a tackle.
Let's go 10. Bunch left, Z surge, 2-jet Lambo. Bunch left, Z surge, 2-jet Lambo.
I mean, damn. Look at the jump. Rushed off.
Third down and 4. Battlehawks have been sacked 4 or 5 times today, coming on 3rd down. Duggan's got to get rid of it quickly. He does, and he airmails it high. Gary Jennings, the intended receiver. It was Willie Taylor setting up shop in the backfield.
Willie Taylor coming off the right side, just going to get in the lap of Max Duggan and not allow him to follow through, which causes the ball to sail on him. Not able to complete his motion. He's got to let it go high. Nice job by Willie Taylor. He's the one that really caused that incompletion.
Are we talking enough about Arlington's defense and just how great of a job they've done again today?
Look, I would say St. Louis' defense has been pretty good as well, but Arlington's defense has shown why it's the best defense in the league, at least through 4 weeks.
You can't move the ball, these guys. Up Richter over the head of Price. And it caroms out of bounds at the 10. 6:06 to go in our 3rd quarter. Battlehawks still in it. UFL will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. Touchdown advantage for Arlington back here at Choctaw Stadium, and an important sequence moments ago as the Battlehawks keep possession inbounds on the punt. We bring in Mike Pereira, VP of officiating, out of the command center. And Mike, the situation there, they stayed inbounds with possession, hence no touchback?
Very important now. The only time you're going to get it to the 25 is if the actual punt goes out of bounds untouched by either team. So it applies to the kickers also. So in this case, actually the ball never ended up going out of bounds, and that's why it stays at that spot.
So part of the nuances of the UFL, and a great job and awareness by the Battlehawks special teams.
Yeah, it's a 14-yard difference in field position that the Battlehawks just gained by being aware. You could hear on the field them saying, keep it in bounds, for they carry them down.
Dede Hunter in at running back, flanking Perez. And it's a battle of wills at this point. These two defenses making so many plays. Screen goes to Seth Green, and a big play on offense. And the Renegades, their first down since way back at the end of the first quarter. Gain of 24, and here comes some tempo.
That was a really cool little middle screen. They're going to get the running back going this way, and it makes the defense think it's going here. And then the screen comes back on the inside from the tight end. Really nicely well done. Penn State did this a lot with Tyler Warren this year. Little middle screen to the tight end, get up the field, and get a big gain with a guy who can do some damage when he gets the ball in his hands.
Chris Payton-Jones injured on the field in that play. We had a good time getting to know Chuck Long a little bit more this week in our conversations with him getting ready for this game, and he indicated there would be some, I don't want to say trick plays, but yeah, trick plays. That's not a trick play, but it was well designed, as you see. Chris Payton-Jones.
This is a person they cannot afford to go down, especially with Brandon Sebastian being hurt as well. Their other starting corner.
He's the corner that they have now that plays basically every snap. Miles Sims and Miles Jones kind of rotate on the other side. See if CPJ is able to come back. He's been playing well for him. Leads the UFL in pass breakups. Good to see him walking off the field.
Went to Nebraska. 29 years old, originally from Jacksonville. Try to run it off on the sideline.
That was your opportunity right there, Roy, to say that he is from Duval. You missed the window, bud.
What's Harry got against me today in the third quarter?
Nothing. I still love you. I still love you. Trust me.
They left the door open because he knew you'd sprint through it.
Pizza is rectangular. Think about that for the next year. Here's Perez. Gonna float one. Man-to-man coverage. Mano a mano. Miles Sims on Winstead. And that was Georgia Tech toppling East Carolina for the moment.
Miles Sims is all of 6'2", so it's tough to throw spade balls against him. Luis Perez actually throws a decent ball to the back shoulder of Isaiah Winstead, who's 6'3" himself, but a little too far. Winstead not quite able to get back to it.
We asked Chuck Long this week, are there different ways you can get the ball to Winstead? He said, no, we like what we're doing so far. Center step for Hunter. And the Battlehawks up to the challenge. Austin Falu. The wind starting to pick up here in Arlington. And it's going to force third down and long again. And perhaps that's been a little bit of a factor at times. Heading with some of the struggles offensively today.
Yeah, possibly. I think these defensive tackles for St. Louis defensively have done such a good job of really resetting the line of scrimmage, pushing the offensive lineman for Arlington into the backfield to make it tough to run the ball.
Mulligan has been a big part of that. Follow who just talked about Perez. Well, that time Payton zigged and Perez wanted him to zag, and here comes a late penalty flag.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. 99 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, an automatic first down.
Now, Ronnie, that's a backbreaker on Falu.
It is an unforced error, and Luis Perez has been lobbying the referee over and over. See, that's not roughing the passer. It's not. When Luis Perez takes a dive at the end of that thing after the first two stumbles, it's a little push. I disagree with that call. vehemently.
But Ron, you mentioned it too. First down back there in the end zone when he took a hit right after he released the football. I mean, he got up immediately, went to the official. So he's kind of been working him a little bit here on this drive.
He has. We're going to get Mike Pereira, our VP of officiating, in on this.
After the play, 1st and 10. Here's Hunter. Micah, what did you see there on the personal foul roughing the passer?
Yeah, I hate to disagree with you guys, but I actually am okay with the call just because it's unnecessary. It's an unnecessary shove to the ground after the pass was gone, clearly after it was gone. So since it was called, I was certainly going to stay with that and wouldn't have gone to review it.
I agree. Definitely unnecessary. The to the ground part, I mean,
Perez sold it a little bit, didn't he?
He sold it. He's a salesman. Well, it was unnecessary, so Mike's got it there.
16-9, 2nd down and 7, and picked off, intercepted by Willie Harvey. Here come the Battlehawks. Touchdown, St. Louis. And a 53-yard march to the end zone. Perez wants that one back.
He's sitting right here in the middle as Willie Harvey. It's zone coverage, and watch him read the eyes and how early he breaks on this ball. Luis Perez hasn't even thought about throwing it, and Willie Harvey is already breaking because that's where the eyes of the quarterback go. And once he catches it, it's just a foot race. And if you're a linebacker, you better win a foot race against those offensive linemen. What a read by the middle linebacker, Willie Harvey, trusting what he sees, taking a chance, and putting his team with a chance, an opportunity to go ahead, although they're going to go for the tie and go for one.
Harvey from Iowa State, Florida native out of Hastings. Duggan back on the field, going for the tie, the 1-point conversion. And straight ahead, plowing towards the goal line. And he's going to be stopped short as Sailors. And the defense comes up with a stop on the 1-point conversion attempt. And we check in again with Cole Kublik.
Fellas, this is really cool. I'm going to talk to Willie Harvey about that pick 6 with micros. When I was about to sit down and talk to him, what'd you say?
You know, my boy 5'1" here, he watched a lot of film, so we knew it was coming.
You love that. You love the defensive guys sticking together. Take me through, what was your pre-snap read, and what did you see as the play began?
I knew they were going slant backside. He thought we were man. And all I knew was just make a play. That's it, make a play.
How do you disguise to make him think you're a man?
I mean, just repetition throughout the week. Luis is a great quarterback. He knows how to read coverage very well. And, man, we just knew if we made him pay, we had to make him pay. And that was kind of our whole mindset all week.
Make him pay for begging for flags?
Hey, no comment on that. No comment on that.
Good job. Thanks, Willie.
Appreciate you.
Cole baiting the players down on the sidelines. Love it. Great television.
He knows the buttons to press. Almost got him to bite, but that is the result of the film room. You know tendencies on 3rd down, backside slant. All right, all I have to do is hold my water for a second, and once it's confirmed by the quarterback's eyes, go take your chance and finish it in the end zone. It's a great job of translating the film room to the field.
All the turnovers early in this game by the Battlehawks. 3 turnovers in that first half, and here we are with a 1-point game and plenty of time left here in Arlington. Battlehawks have battled their way back. Kalen Ballage back deep. Received this kick. Haversick sends it to the 10 and a running grab. Ballage will try to get outside towards the perimeter and shoved out at the 27. And Willie Harvey just all over this play.
He was. And as soon as the eyes of Perez go that way, you can see his head, the quick check. Oh, yep, slant's coming, let me go. And he gets rewarded by getting in there.
That's a job!
AB was going to race him to the end zone there.
I think he thought better of it after the first few steps.
Protect the hammy.
Exactly.
Most definitely protect those hamstrings.
And the pride.
Perez back on the field, and let's see what happens with his confidence level. The veteran, 30 years young, Texas A&M Commerce. He'll step up in the pocket. Relief valve to Ballage. And a good play as the pocket started to break down. And on this possession, our audio blitz begins right now as we will listen to sounds from the field the entire possession.
Beethoven, F over the ball. So for right flex, H push, 53 Beethoven, F over the ball.
H push, 53 Beethoven, FOTB. Also wait, this is it up. Tyson 5. Tyson 5. Tyson 5. Tyson 5. TV. Here we go.
Watch this.
At Arlington at Choctaw Stadium. Our fourth quarter is headed your way next. Now the 2025 NFL Draft right around the corner. The festivities get started Thursday from Lambeau Field in Green Bay. First round coverage available on both ESPN and ABC beginning at 8 Eastern on Thursday. Back in Arlington, Texas, you take a look at some of the notable NFL draft picks currently on UFL rosters, including Denzel Mims and Akeem Butler, who we expect to see back next week for the Battlehawks. And a couple of names we've mentioned often today: Will Clark, Ballage, Clay Brooks with a first-half interception. Ronnie Jones, Roy Philpott, Cole Kublik, Harry Douglas on the sidelines. In Arlington on the move. Second and short to begin the fourth quarter. Renegades have not trailed in this game this afternoon. Day Hunter doesn't need much. He'll pick up the first.
Well, Ronnie, Arlington's been been so good with those bounce runs this year, even opposite directions in which plays have been designed to go. Finding space outside the tackle box, you have to be disciplined against this run game.
Yeah, you do. And St. Louis has done a really good job of it so far in this game. But on this drive, you just saw one of those runs that you were talking about, Cole, there. But the missed tackles on this drive have also really hurt the St. Louis defense.
Here at Choctaw Stadium, the Statue of Liberty playing Payton on the end around racing towards the end zone. Javante Payton. It'll be first down and goal for the Renegades.
We haven't seen a lot of this. You're going to see the reverse come this way, but watch the tight end. He's going to start there and then come back out. That's Seth Green. Everything makes it look like it's going to be counter going to the right. Then Green peels out. You get Jacob Johanning out in front, the big center. And it's kind of something that you see, that we see more out of St. Louis's playbook, those reverses for big games.
Chuck Long, the crafty play caller for the Renegades. Gain of 23. Day Hunter. The pivot through the pocket into the end zone. Oh, and he found a way across the goal line. Still a one-possession game. Let's see what happens on the conversion.
Day Hunter's legs are so strong. He's got great contact balance. This is the extreme of it, though. I mean, the ability to stay off the ground with multiple guys falling all over you. Pinnu had a chance at him, but Day Hunter ends up in the end zone, part of that 1-2 punch, and Arlington will go for 2.
They'll go for 2 to try to make it a 9-point game. Still a chance. Just one possession to tie it up on the 3-point conversion from the 10. Here's Perez into the flats and looking for Green. In and out of the mix. Incomplete. A big sequence there, but Arlington extends its lead. The UFL will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC stations. Arlington with a 22-15 lead. We check in with sports betting analyst Aaron Dolan. Aaron.
Well, Day Hunter, he was plus 200 to score a touchdown, and what that means is a $10 bet would then ultimately win you $20. And also for his rushing yards prop, it's at 32.5. He's currently sitting at 32 rushing yards. This is what betting is all about. Some players come in close, and you might just cash it over if you keep watching.
Thank you, Aaron. We appreciate that. Ronnie Jones, Roy Philpott, that's Day Hunter. And you see 32 rush yards so far today, and that initial line at 32.5. Harry Douglas, Cole Kublik on the sidelines. Gary Jennings with a penalty marker coming in back at the 22. And a shoestring tackle crossing the 30 by Stephen Jones.
Number 85 at my flag. Where's the end of the run? We're going to go 10 from here. Number 85, return to. During the return, holding for 85. 10-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
The guilty party. Harry Douglas on the bench with Luis Perez right now.
Luis, you talk about the highs and lows in the football game. You threw an interception, returned for a touchdown, but on that drive, 8 plays, 72 yards. You went 4 for 4 for 40 yards. Talk about being resilient throughout the ball game.
Yeah, it's next play mentality. You can't hold on the past. It happened, bad decision, bad play, whatever, got to move on and push forward.
What are you guys seeing out there that you actually like right now?
You know, we can run the ball on these guys. I mean, they're light in the box, and we got to take advantage of numbers.
Thanks, bud.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
HD, thank you. Here comes 1st and 10. Max Duggan. That shotgun look. And it's Jacob Sailors. Across the 20, a positive gain on 1st down. Harris at tackle. The drive begins for the Battlehawks here, who have not led in this game today. Only trailed by 7. We didn't talk a ton about the conversion opportunity. And Roddy, 6 one way, half a dozen another. They go for the 2 to try to make it a 9-point game. Still a one-possession game if you are able to convert, but they don't, and now 1-point conversion away from a tie on a touchdown.
Yeah, up until that point, Arlington had been 2 for 2 on 2-point conversions. It's what they do. It's what a lot of people in this league do. I don't mind them going for 2 at all.
Pump fake, and Duggan in traffic again and brought down another sack the Arlington defense, their 6th of the game. Miles Dorn.
Max Duggan is going to try and hit this wheel after the pump on the smoke screen. And really, there's nobody open. If he could work back to the middle, maybe you could have gone there. But by that time, the pocket's starting to collapse. I think his eyes come down and start to look at the pass rush. And it's another sack taken by Max Duggan in this St. Louis Battlehawks offense.
And a great job by cornerback Stephen Jones, staying home, reading his keys.
You give corners compliments?
Every now and then, you got to give them some kind of light.
Duggan on 3rd down absorbs some contact and then gets driven backwards towards the line of scrimmage by Harris. Looked like a fullback for a minute.
That's the Max Duggan that we see all the time. We saw all the time at TCU, running hard. Miles Dorn misses the tackle. I mean, Miles Dorn is a big safety. He's 6'1", 215, 220 pounds. Max Duggan bounces right off of him, although Dorn will take it because his team gets off the field.
Jaden Price back deep to receive this punt from Hofrichter. Lynn begins to pick up again, and Hofrichter from his own 5. The Renegades defense stout all season again this afternoon. Fair catch at the 38. Anthony Beck, head coach for the Battlehawks. Let's listen to what he's had to say and do today.
Let's go. Bring your own juice today.
Hey, if you got any suggestions or you're seeing stuff, feel free to give it to Seneca. It's a good drive, though. We need that.
Go! Go! That's the jump!
We didn't need the all-access sound for that last one, miming the flag, and then everybody knows the what are you doing?
Anthony Beck. Remember, he was in television before coming to the sidelines, and so it's been a tremendous resource for all of us. First the XFL, now in the UFL. The handoff stopped cold by Travis Feeney as Ballage is taken down a short game.
Anthony Beck was a very good analyst on our side of things, and he's got his defensive front. See, Luis Perez just told Harry that we can run the ball against these guys because the box is light. Well, the defensive line for St. Louis has really been winning the battle up front consistently. So they're able to stop the run with one less defender than needed.
Ballage motions out on 2nd and 7 underneath Winningham, his first grab. It'll be 3rd and short. Luan Winningham a catch. 3rd of the season.
Tight A, H Buzz, 52F Mozart. I'm so ready. Luan, you go, Luan? Here we go.
Four-man front for the Battlehawks. Perez wants to throw it. He'll step up in the pocket. That awareness, always sensational. And the drive is extended on the first down scamper.
He's not always a run threat, but an opportunistic run. Jacob Johanning just does a great job of continuing to fight the center, continuing to fight to drive defensive linemen to the left side of the quarterback. So Luis Perez is able to climb up the pocket and scramble for a first down.
There's an off-season emphasis of his, that speed, quickness, and agility.
Yeah, he's been working on that to try to be more mobile in the pocket situations like that. Sal Cannella driven backwards towards midfield. It'll be 2nd down and long.
All right, let's go 11. Ying, shiny right, 63, Z Hammer search. Ying, shiny right, 63, Z Hammer search.
Z Hammer search. I'm so ready.
Well, Chuck Long also specializes in marketing. He told us this week, we like a little razzle-dazzle out there. We want to try to get people more involved in the league. He's had some nice play calls today. His team with a touchdown advantage. 10 to go. Now under 9 to play in our 4th quarter. Diving attempt by Winningham. Unable to win that battle. And it was Vaughn's actually on the far side. Pass is incomplete.
Tyler Vaughn slipped coming out of his break, having a speed turn on that out. Slips, and it almost ends up an interception, but 3rd and long here.
Hey, trough left, nudge. 777, Sparrow. Until ready.
Here's Perez. He'll extend it. And then not for very much longer. He's going to step out of bounds. Chris Garrett in hot pursuit. And they're going to lose a bunch of yards on that play.
Well, it's another twist on this side. It's what we talked about earlier. The tackle, watch him not bump the guard to pick up this twist. And you end up getting the defensive end coming free up the middle. Luis Perez has to escape. Cole broke it down earlier. The tackle's got to get down, bump that guard off. It happens a little too late.
I don't know, Roddy.
Perez has to escape.
That may have been some kind of little 3/4 slide there. In the center, you saw him look right late. Should have stayed left, maybe, if that was the call. But I'm not PFF and know every play call.
Marquette King to Blake Jackson. And upended near the 25. Battlehawks will get it back. Down a touch, halfway home in our 4th quarter in Arlington.
Welcome back to Choctaw Stadium. 22-15, Renegades lead the Battlehawks, and a quarterback update for St. Louis. Manny Wilkins went out on the final play of the first drive. Max Duggan has been in since. Hurt his left thumb, stiff-arming a defender as he came out on the final play of the last drive. Got it retaped, went over, worked on some handoffs, also worked on some throws, taking some snaps. Trey Self would be your backup quarterback right now for the Battlehawks, fellas. Chevron Cordero is not available. He is on IR. So one quarterback who's in the game, thumb just retaped. Another quarterback that hasn't taken a snap this year will be all that's available for the Battlehawks.
Interesting development there. And Duggan, for the record, 7 of 13 through the air, just 58 yards today. The 1 interception. And sacks have been a problem. On the end around, Jennings sent out short of the 30-yard line, call it the 29. So the Battlehawks trying to get creative, generate some positive yards rushing.
Decent chunk out of that. We've seen those plays go for a lot longer. Somehow, Phil McGagan, the offensive coordinator for St. Louis, you have to get Max Duggan comfortable with the run game, or excuse me, with the pass game. And do you do that by trying some different things in the run game to get on the perimeter, try and get away from this great Arlington defense?
Here's Starvan Howard, boy, had a crease for a moment, tripped up at the 30. I thought that one was going to end up being a big play, but Will Clark stopped it.
Ronnie, I would also say when you look at this St. Louis team, they really do. Last week and also this week, they missed Hakeem Butler.
Yeah.
You got to remember, that's a guy, UFL Offensive Player of the Year. He led the UFL in receiving yards last year, but just his size, his catch radius, a red zone target, they missed him the last 2 weeks.
And they thought, the coaching staff thought they were going to get him back this week, but not medically cleared, needed a ramp-up week, so they're hoping to have him next week.
Yeah, UFL Offensive Player of the Year last season. Should be back for the next game, and the pass is going to be batted down. It was Harris. His quarterback position right at the line of scrimmage. J-Day batted that one down.
He's going to come off the right side, and he realizes that he's not going to get to the quarterback, so the athleticism to just jump up in the air, be able to bat that thing down. Nice job. And again, it's been this defense to continually stymie St. Louis offensively when they have to go into situations to throw the football.
Battlehawks will be forced to punt. 6 minutes and counting remaining in this game. Hoffrichter gets it to Price. Jaden Price, a stutter step and a path ahead to the 35, and that's it. Week 5, the UFL starts Friday with Memphis and Birmingham at 8 Eastern on Fox. Saturday night on ESPN, Michigan rolls into St. Louis in the Dome at 7 o'clock Eastern. Then we have a Sunday doubleheader on ESPN starting at noon, DC and Arlington, followed by Houston and San Antonio to wrap up the weekend.
How about the turnover down in San Antonio. Wade Phillips stepping away, Peyton Pardee getting elevated to the interim head coaching spot. We had a chance to chat with Coach Pardee last week as we had San Antonio. I think San Antonio is in good hands with the young Peyton Pardee.
No question. We were all impressed not only with his play calling, but his leadership. Such a young age. Hit a Hunter waving his way. Maybe a gain of a half yard. You're right. It just feels like momentum in this game has been teetering between both teams since the end of the first half. And for a moment in time, St. Louis had it, and Arlington has kind of kept the Battlehawks at arm's length.
Well, Arlington's going to want a long drive here to try and put real pressure on that defense. But it feels a lot like, I mean, it's going to take a defensive or special teams big play to set them up offensively if you're St. Louis to be able to tie this thing up or go ahead.
On 2nd down and 9, here's Perez, flat-footed toss, and it's low and incomplete. Now Vaughn's unable to haul that one in against Lucas Dennis. Big 3rd down coming up.
Dixie right C, H Buzz, 53, Z levels Cobra.
Hey,
Dixie right C, H Buzz, 53, Z levels Cobra.
Z levels Cobra, on ready.
Biggest question I have on this play is, can this offensive line give Luis Perez the time to go through his progressions and find an open receiver?
53 5-man protection too, so if you have a pressure, it would get home.
How aggressive do you want to be here as well with this touchdown lead? And Perez sacked back behind the 30. And it was a combo tackle. Taumapinu able to bring him down and reaching the quarterback first.
Right up the middle, Freedom Akinmulade is able to get across the face of the center and force Luis Perez up in the pocket. And then it's Peter Taumapinu who is able to get back there and finish the play. It's a great individual effort by the big defensive tackle right in the middle to create that initial pressure.
Taumapinu is the most sacks in the UFL in this game. Here in week 4. Pearson, you mentioned special teams. Great starting field position for the Battlehawks. All the way up to the 47-yard line. Down by just 7 and plenty of time to work with for head coach Anthony Beck.
Good job on defense.
This defense has battled all game long. Now with 4 minutes left on the clock, your offense has good field position. Everything from here on is going to be 4-down territory. Max Duggan has to know that, be smart with the football. Somebody's got to go out and make a play.
Duggan, the Heisman Trophy runner-up. Same year he led TCU to the national championship game against Georgia. Will buy some time across his body. The pass is there. That's a 1st down, St. Louis. Frank Darby, a grab in traffic, and he came back for it.
This is a throw that takes some gumption. It takes some moxie. It takes some trust. Slides up in the pocket and then throwing back towards the middle of the field. His momentum's going towards the sideline. Gets enough arm on it and throws it in there to Frank Darby, who just finds that little bit of space, working off the defender towards open grass.
It's a gain of 20. The 2nd grab of the afternoon for Frank Darby. Played his college ball at Arizona State. Physical presence this year on the perimeter. Sailors has also been physical on the ground, and a nice gain on 1st.
G-Force Reed, kill Wanda, Cole versus 9-Tech. Gun double right 19, G-Force Reed, kill Wanda, Cole versus 9-Tech.
Cole, you sat in the booth with Phil McGagan moments ago. It felt like he's been searching his football soul to try to find something that works in this game.
Well, he showed me his brand new play sheet. He has like the laminated one that he brought in, and obviously you lose your starting quarterback. He goes, this is basically my audible play sheet right here.
That's where he's been since Manny Wilkins went out on that final play, the 1st drive for St. Louis today. Sailors penetrate that right side again to the 25.
You could hear Phil McGagan give Max Duggan a little bit of a key there. He goes through the play calls and then says kill versus a 9-Tech. So if you'd have gotten a really wide defender on the line of scrimmage, they would have killed that initial play, which I think was the one that we saw, and gone to a different play that's better against that look.
2:23 to go, and Anthony Beck
2 plays
with the timeout. Coach Beck told us this week, guys need to be confident and do what they are told to do. And he was talking about his starting quarterback more than anybody else in Manny Wilkins after the turnovers last week and the loss to D.C. Today it's been the Max Duggan show as a result of Wilkins and the injury. And it's been a bag of mixed results up to this point.
That has been a short yardage situation so important. We've seen them go wrong for Arlington. The St. Louis defense has been awesome in these situations. Offensively, though, 1 of their last 9 on 3rd downs.
Empty backfield. Does Duggan want to run it here? He does. Straight ahead on 3rd and short. And a big gain on the ground for the former TCU standout. Good blocking up front.
Yeah, really good block by Jared Jones-Smith. And Donovan West is coming around. Found some work as well. And the quarterback run from Max Duggan, that tough running style. Going to start to lean on that here, I think, down in the red zone.
Just ahead of the 2-minute warning. Sailors cuts it back inside to the 10. So nifty running, and the 2-minute warning coming your way right now. St. Louis on the move. The UFL will continue after these messages and a word from our ABC stations.
The 2025 NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championship between Oklahoma, UCLA, Utah, and Missouri is coming up next after the game. We've got Olympians. We've got dynasty programs. So much talent in this arena. Now, fellas, I'm not sure which of you could bust out a backflip at this point. I think my money would be on Roddy, but y'all figure that one out. We're going to get ready for showtime. We'll see you at 2:30 Central Time right here on ABC.
What? Taylor Bet Davis, the slam on the toss?
Now that's unbelievable. She's completely wrong, but on TBD, yes. Thank you for going with me. Your faith is misplaced, but thank you.
Anthony Beck during that timeout.
Down in for me. You guys are doing a great job right now. Dig deep. Dig deep.
Battlehawks have not led in this game this afternoon, digging deep with their backup quarterback, the former TCU standout, Max Duggan. It'll be 2nd and 4. Trailing by just 7. There goes Sailors, straight ahead. Stopped close to the line to gain by Charlie Thomas III.
Charlie Thomas doesn't get there from the backside of that play. It's gonna score. But now, if you're St. Louis, gotta take your time. You milk this clock. You give Arlington as little time as possible, especially if you're able to convert this 3rd down.
Another short yardage opportunity. This Renegades defense. Jacob Sailors will get the call again. Straight ahead. Didn't need much. He's going to shove the pile down to the 5, and that'll be a chain mover. 1st down and goal coming up for St. Louis.
Really nice block by 84 tight end Jake Sutherland.
Yeah,
top of your screen, Roddy.
Yeah, it certainly was. And a nice job by Jacob Sailors, who just does such a good job when he gets out on the edges, on the perimeter, making guys miss, but also getting skinny in the hole and finding those little creases to get the necessary yardage. It's an underrated skill for a back.
And honestly, Roddy, if I was St. Louis, I'd hand it out to him again. You know, a Sailors, anytime touchdown would be great right about now.
I wonder why you would think that.
Just hand it out to him. 4 touchdown runs coming into the game. Why not?
So a lot in play. The timeout called. You see Charlie Thomas III. Any point scored at this juncture means the over will connect. And the Renegades with 1 timeout remaining. Battlehawks with all 3 left. 1st down and goal. HD once more. Sailors, he'll get it through the left side and tripped up near the 4. Donald Payne, the leadership, anchoring that defense, the tackle.
that Arlington didn't take its second or its final timeout just then. You want to try and preserve as much time is not a factor here. You want to try and preserve as much as you can if they do indeed get the ball in the end zone.
Duggan has run it from this formation earlier. He's going to try the right side now. Jumps across the 5 and upended on the flip. Miles Dorn chopped him down. It'll be 3rd and goal.
Miles Dorn's going to come down from the safety position and end up on the outside. Max Duggan tries to go over the top. Gets clipped on the ankle and goes tumbling. Good to see him get up quickly. The toughness of Max Duggan has never been in doubt.
Joe Powell added a little extra on the back end of that on the flip. The somersault with gymnastics coming up. And now a timeout called by the Battlehawks and Anthony Becht. 3rd down and goal.
Donovan, I appreciate this.
Coming out of this time, fellas. Donovan West puking down here as he's getting ready to get back in the huddle.
Right.
West, the starting right guard out of Arizona State. 36 seconds to go. No point in a field goal at this late moment.
No. This is, you're going to go for it on 4th down. So you've got 2 opportunities.
Bang one, let's get a good one, and I still have one left for a challenge, you know what I'm saying? So, okay. Is this a pass? I didn't know. Okay.
Sailors, Duggan in the backfield. Sailors goes out into the flats. Dump ball, pass is incomplete. Rary Jennings unable to bring in the heater, and it was right at his chest the second he turned around.
Yeah, and watch the top of this route. So you're going to see the route there, but watch the little grab that happens at the top of the route. Right there's a little pull by the defender. I mean, if you're St. Louis, you can get a new set of downs there. Anthony Becht still has his challenge. I don't know if they're going to get word to him.
St. Louis 1 for 4 on 4th down this season. It all comes down to this. 4th and goal. Intercepted. And the Renegades survive. It's Harris bringing it back the other way. Ajene going to take it to the house. And the over somehow hits on the pick 6 from 100 yards away.
Go for 2. Go for 2.
Max Duggan's trying to hit the slant, just a little behind the receiver. And then Ajene Harris is Johnny on the spot, collects the football and finishes in the end zone. A frustrating possession inside the 10-yard line for the Battlehawks, and what started as a very promising one as they got down the field, they abandoned the run game on those last 2 plays.
Touchdown.
Second interception of the season for Ajene Harris, preserving the Renegades' lead in what appears to be an Arlington victory. Perez on the field to go for 2, and here comes a challenge flag.
Might as well. Can't take it home.
Don't you
the biggest swing of the game, absolutely.
We got early contact. Okay, on the defender on number 12, who we threw it to on the slant. Early contact.
So you're challenging pass interference on number 12.
Threw the ball to. It was early. Ball was behind. He hit him, and he couldn't go. Oh. He's got 28.
For 12. Where's 12? That's 5. We're trying to find 12. Well, he's... Oh, on 12. Okay. Pass goes to 12. Ball's thrown a little behind him. If any contact, it's very minimal. Challenge is denied. Touchdown stands on the pick 6.
After reviewing the play, touchdown is upheld. St. Louis is charged. Their second timeout may not challenge the remainder of the game.
Now the crowd erupts. Nothing doing to remove the touchdown off the board. The pick 6. Janae Harris played his college ball at Southern Cal. What a moment in the Metroplex on this Saturday afternoon. And the Renegades on the verge of improving to 3-1. And Ronnie, that over came in an unexpected way, awfully late here in week 4.
I think anyone who had the over thought they were in a good spot because
Neutral zone infraction, 48 of the defense. Penalty places the ball at the 2-yard line for the 2-point try.
Because it looked like St. Louis is going to get the ball in the end zone. Or kick a field goal.
It's the bad beat of the century in the UFL if you had the under.
Yes, it is. Because you see the ball go up in the air and you're like, incompletion, I'm good. No, sorry about it.
Renegades. The 2-point attempt after the penalty. And here's Perez. Going to float it towards the back, and it's grabbed. Devontae Payton had a touchdown in the first half, and the 2-point conversion in the second. 30-15 Arlington. Down to Harry, who has Mr. Harris after the 100-yard pick 6.
Janae Harris, 100 yards to your end zone for a touchdown. We talked in pregame. You played wide receiver at USC. You got moved to DB. You look like a wide receiver on that play, boss.
Man, you know, we just work hard, man. You know, stuff like that happens when you just run into the ball, man, trying to make a play.
You've had a solid season so far. You had a fumble recovery last week, a pass deflection, an interception a week before, and an interception this week. Talk about your preparation getting ready for this season.
Man, you know, just coming. I train to SC every day by myself, you know, with some of the guys, and then just getting here, getting with the coaches, man. You know, they preparing us real well. Our D-line getting after the quarterback, man. So it's teamwork. It takes all of us, all 11, all the coaches in the building, and we just come to work every day.
Good job, man.
Man, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
What a sequence. What a seal the deal for the Renegades.
I think I would have liked to have seen Max Duggan with the ball in his hands, running the ball downhill one more time. I think, you know, it's hard to criticize play calls, but I would have loved to have seen it.
The touchback on the kickoff. How about Bob Stoops during that last challenge moments ago?
Hallelujah. Finally. Let's go, Lambeau. Finally. Finally. Thank you, finally.
You know, it's got to feel good for Coach Stoops. His offense didn't play great. They put together a couple of drives to get points. But really, this was a team effort. A couple of defensive scores. Special teams came up with a big turnover to create a touchdown. So a real team effort in what wasn't a virtuoso performance offensively, but that defense for Arlington is for real.
Renegades improve. The 3-1. St. Louis falls to 2-2. Bob Stoops, Anthony Beck meeting midfield after a sensational ending advantage. Arlington and a Janae Harris getting the job done for the Renegades defense once again. Back to the drawing board with Max Duggan. And certainly our thoughts with Manny Wilkins, who left this game early today on the first drive. For our entire UFL broadcast team, we thank you for watching here in Arlington. Now, across the road we go to Fort Worth for the NCAA Women's Gymnastics National Championship.
Well, Devontae Payton, Renegades wide receiver, no stranger to a touchdown celebration, but let me see what I'm working with here.
That's all I got. I do this in pass now.
You want to see some real flips? You better come with me.